What's up, y'all? Parker of Social Sake here, just popping in quick to say that I am officially a full-time musician slash podcaster. So if you enjoy all the content that I put out, it'd mean the world if you subscribe to my Patreon, which is in the link below. Basically, it's $5 a month starting at, and you can go there to check out the tiers, and you can see what it all helps me out with financially. If not, thank you so much for watching the podcast and supporting the project by listening to music, coming to shows, buying merch, all that good stuff. But just wanted to shout that out quick. So thank you guys. Much love. Enjoy the podcast. Bye.
Everyone hates us.
So what is Archetypes? I've seen it online and everything, and kind of heard through like Bridger that you guys started like a writing collective sort of thing. I didn't really dig too deep into it, so yeah, if you guys just want to like explain, I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's
this
just like
also, yeah, this isn't like super formal or anything. We can like swear and if you guys need to take a break or anything, we can do that too.
Cool.
So, I'll edit this up.
All right. Cool. Yeah.
it's like a job interview. Fucking,
Yeah.
oh man, I'm horrible at everything.
Well, yeah.
Everything you say will be held against you.
Yeah.
For sure.
Just keep that
I'm
in mind.
incriminating myself right now.
Exactly.
But yeah, Archetypes is a writing, design, now film kind of group that me and my good friends Riley and Barry started last November.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
a year ago last November?
Yeah, we
Yes.
just celebrated, I guess, like a year
Nice.
of writing, pretty much.
Yeah, we had a dinner.
yeah.
We
Y'all got some dinner?
We went to Sabor Tropical in Bayview. You ever been there?
No.
Super good. Like
So many
South
times
American
recently,
food.
people will say like a new restaurant in Bayview that I've never heard of.
Bayview's
Yeah,
that kind of place.
Yeah.
That in bars, man. Like,
Yeah,
oh, you ever go to
exactly.
this bar in Bayview?
No,
Right.
never.
Never.
Cool.
But
So 1 year.
yeah, one
Yeah, 1
year.
year.
Thank you. Yeah, we're just kind of three people. We realized we kind of have the like similar outlooks on life, I guess, or like design and writing. So we have become kind of closer that summer as friends. So we're like, yeah, why not?
Cool.
Let's try it.
You guys write together like consistently?
I think,
normally?
honestly, it's kind of
Like
funny
that?
because, like, I don't think we write together at all. I think Riley and I have both, like, made it pretty clear that it's, like, when we're all together, like, it feels like we write worse. So it's like...
Yeah.
Or at
tried
least
it
less.
before.
At least
Yeah.
we write less.
We just
Yeah,
gotta
because,
stop
like, you know, we're just,
talking.
like, talking to each other, and it's like, you know, the whole point of writing is, like, getting that shit on paper, and it's like, if I'm with you guys, I'm not gonna be fucking... I'm like, I'll just say my ideas. Why would I write them down?
Yeah, right.
Right.
Verbal stories.
You gotta have a voice recording going.
Pretty much, yeah. Dude,
Right.
see, Willie tries that. Fucking Willie does that, and it always sounds, like, so scary. Because he always has his phone in his pocket, and sounds like trying to, like, incriminate or, like, catch someone.
Oh
and,
man, I didn't know.
Yeah.
like, dude, this audio wasn't, like, muffled and, like, scary. And I'd be like, I'd post this on Archetypes.
Yeah, right.
I've done that a few times sometimes of like if I'm having a good conversation, I'll just put my phone down and record it just to like I won't post it. Maybe like use the audio in a song maybe, but every time I've done it, like God, I sound like an idiot.
True.
I hate
It's
listening
like,
to myself. Even editing these podcasts, I don't enjoy them that much just because I feel like I sound like a dweeb sometimes.
I feel like that's everyone. Like you just hear your own voice and you just hate it. There's just something about hearing your own. It's like
It's not having that resonance in your skull.
that might be
Yeah.
it too. Yeah,
What is it? I think if you hold,
it's like in
I think
front
if
of.
you do this,
Yeah.
because the sound wave travels down your cheek. So if you talk like this, that's how you, similar, pretty close to what you sound like.
This is
Yeah.
how I sound.
Your voice will sound a little higher.
Oh,
Or like
shit.
the-
Yeah, that's pretty
yeah,
good.
because it's not like echoing in your rib cage or whatever.
Yeah.
or
Oh, it's
something.
You don't
so
feel it in your
different.
belly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
The
like on and
diaphragm.
off button.
Yeah.
Cool. So 1 year of writing, like,
Yes.
what is your, I guess, so you just kind of just work all three of you together creatively on different projects and bounce ideas off of each other? Or?
Yeah, the way it's been going for a while now is Max is real prolific with his designs, and then
Sick.
we'll sort of write something based on the design, because I know I do best when I have something to like draw inspiration from, or at least like give me like an impetus to write something.
Sure.
I think that's how we all are.
Starting point.
Yeah, it kind of started, the first one was a little more concrete, like around a theme. And then as it went on, it just kind of got more and more abstract. And then it's like, oh, whatever, just write something that kind of is similar to this. So it just got more loose, which was nice because we were kind of early on, like last November and December. We're just like, that's okay. We just kind of like we didn't know how to keep it up by having like a concrete theme, I guess.
So is it more of like fiction or just kind of whatever you're thinking?
I don't think there's really like one genre we stick to, because like we'll have the word. Max usually comes up with the word, and it's like you said, it's really loose. It's not like we're like setting boundaries for ourselves or anything, but it is nice to like start somewhere and just sort of have like a word to go with.
Right.
Oh
What are like some words that you would start with in the past, or what?
It's always like an 8th grade level, like kind of obscure word.
Yeah, so we have the one that came out the first one that had one word was carapace last year, which is like the shell of a turtle, or like a kind of like an armored plate, and that was just kind of about inauthenticity. So you know, a carapace that you put up, I guess.
Yeah.
And because I had seen a turtle at a nature center, and I'm like, yo, that's a great word.
I didn't even know what that meant.
Oh no.
Carapace.
Yeah, it's like a kind of a shield. Or just but
Like we just had one called Unrest. Which is all stuff that's related to, you know, being uneasy about one thing or the other.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what are the other ones? Well, I can't remember.
I can put him in the crate too if he's too distracting.
I don't want to stop the fun for him.
I don't know. I feel like the single words though. I can't even like. It's our own work, and I'm struggling to think of like the actual words. 'Cause I feel like that's usually how loose it is. It's like It's like we'll just get the one word, and it's like, you know, you don't even have to like use the word or anything.
Right.
It's
But
just
even
like,
there, it gives you like a starting point to go off of.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
the whole point. Brother.
Crab cake. Oh my god. What a sweet dog.
For
oh my
real?
god. Struggling right now.
He's pretty needy.
It's okay, crab cake.
And then, so when you write, how do you guys each write? Do you write with like a physically pencil and paper, or do you prefer typing it out?
I feel like
usually type
we've
it.
done a few times where it's like we use like a we'll like type it out, and usually, but like a few times Max has done like typewriting, like converting it to a typewriter, so it's just like
I got this
something like that.
Yeah, that texture's really cool.
Yeah, I got this really nice typewriter from my aunt. Shout out my Aunt Jude.
Hey,
if you're watching.
Shout out,
Thank
dude.
you. But I got a really good typewriter from her. She actually had an article written about her a while ago for having like 35 vintage typewriters in her house. It was just like in the Journal Sentinel. So she's the plug.
Damn, 35.
Something like that. Yeah, like not a record amount, but
goodness.
close to a record. But yeah, so she gave me that, and then.
And it was like a vintage one. It wasn't like a new.
No, not like it's very difficult to type on. You have to like, and that's why she gave it to me. She's like, I know you're stronger. You're strong, or something like that.
Strong fingers.
Yeah.
Sign of strength. Like,
Yeah.
owning a typewriter.
I mean, yeah, you have to really like punch it in. It's like hard to do. We need to. Yeah, we haven't done a typewriting thing since actually the first one. So, and then I used typewriting for one of our things called Tumble, just for the like cover design.
Right.
But we gotta go back to it because it is a nice texture, like you said.
So I want to talk again about the your Instagram reels and connecting the reels, like making the bridge between writing and the 21st century or whatever era we're in with like video content.
Yeah.
I almost want to pull up your Instagram right now. You said you made one?
Yeah, we got one
there's
out right now. Couple
Yeah.
more in the works.
Currently working on
Yes.
one more, which
Well, two.
Because it was broke and which
Riley's new
And
one.
then rest.
Oh.
Have
You
you
had unrest and
been
rest.
inspired
Yeah.
by other people who've done this already, or is you just trying to make something?
I think that was
out of
more
nothing?
kind of like why we started doing it, because it was like we didn't like there weren't a lot of people writing and also posting writing at the same time. I don't want to shit on anyone that is like currently writing. I guess I don't know that many active writers in Milwaukee, but I mean, yeah, it just weren't like we didn't see anyone else like doing like what we wanted to do pretty much
Right.
with like a group writing like sort of themes, and then branching off with like video. The 3 times.
Yeah, the thought was that, like, usually we post stuff that'll be just blocks of text that you have to swipe through and read. It's like if you're scrolling on Instagram, you're probably not going to stop in your tracks and read.
Right.
But this, I feel like you would just stop in your tracks.
Yeah, this is nice.
My roommate Andrew played the guitar. Some of the footage I took in South Dakota this past summer.
Sure.
Some of it very appropriated.
Yeah.
Did you take it with your phone, or is this all?
It's like an old camcorder.
I think that's your footage, Riley.
Yeah.
That's-
And it had the bird. There's like a clip of a bird
Yeah, that's at the
flying
end.
by that Riley was really
So
trying to
proud of.
emphasize. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I love this. Makes me think of this one. You know it's a company called Sunburnt.
Sunburnt.
No.
Sunburnt.
Oh, crab cake.
There's a dude named Sam. He used to be around Milwaukee. I think this is his company, but does some films and kind of like really like vintage stuff that I really like. And, very good writer. I'm not sure who writes his stuff. It might be him, but basically the big thing was this last project. Like right when COVID hit, him and 2 other buddies basically went hitchhiking on trains, and they made a whole like documentary on film about it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if this will have like, but it's all on YouTube. Me and Michael watched it recently, and
Yeah.
it was like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome.
That does look cool.
I'm trying to find like the. I really like the narration too. I don't know who like narrated it.
Now we're going to give you a real inside view. An actual interview in a genuine hobo jungle. You fellas come a long way? Yeah. Fine, Father.
You can watch it later too.
Pennsylvania.
Who was the poet that reached out to read for our reels?
Barry would know. I don't remember.
Well, was it Ophelia?
No, the
No,
poet
some guy.
that you make videos for.
Oh, JD, John Darren. He's a current like Milwaukee writer. He's really good. I don't know if you can look it up. You just
John
look
D.
up JD the poet.
Oh, is he around? Yep, I think he's friends with Will. Kinda.
Yeah, I do.
I met this dude. Yeah, he's fun.
I did like this video. Like this is a really good poem. Like
Yeah, I still haven't heard his
Niggas
voice yet,
too.
actually.
White-looking natives don't empathize with Hispanics. They hate niggas too. Syrian refugees don't understand it. They hate niggas too. Croatians here illegally, no one hunts them. They hate niggas too. Dominicans kick Haitians out. What a sin.
Yeah, same kind of text style.
They hate niggas too.
Didn't you make this?
Saudis
I
fight
did.
proxy
I got
wars
all the
with
footage
Iranians.
for this one, but
Oh, okay.
They
Willie
hate
did all the
niggas too.
subtitling.
Mexicans who don't cut grass aren't our friends. They hate niggas too. Poor Caucasians in trailers feel good about whiteness. They hate niggas too. Laotian and Hmong killed in favor of ethnic cleanliness. They hate niggas too.
Where's this footage
Poor,
from?
disenfranchised people really hate themselves.
Gotta wait for it to finish up. But I mean, most
Because
of the
they
footage is
niggas too. That's that piece.
that last line wraps it
Niggas
all
too.
together.
Oh shit! Sorry, I missed that.
White-looking natives don't.
The whole point is like just like sort of just like different groups being like marginalized by like people within their own country. So it was like the Hmong and the other one I
Laotian.
forget, Laotian. He talks about a Dominican and Haitian because there was like a crazy like law passed by the Dominican Republic, I think it is, they basically, anyone that was born in Haiti but lived in the Dominican Republic was essentially now a Haitian citizen and no longer like a Dominican citizen. So everyone that was in the Dominican that was born in Haiti lost their citizenship overnight and basically became like people that were like, you know, they were just, they were, you know, shat on by like their own government pretty much, where they were like, yeah, we don't have enough work for you, so go back to Haiti. Like,
Gotcha. So were they deported?
Yeah, it was like sort of I don't know like the full process that went on after like the law was passed, but it was like essentially they were like interviewing people after the fact, and it's like, yeah, like I don't have a job anymore. I can't get a job, so I'm probably gonna have to go back to Haiti. But it's like, you know, it's like people that are born there and then immediately move like while they're still babies type shit. Like, you know, it's like fucking, you know, shit you don't have control over. It's like, yeah, by the way, you're not a citizen anymore. But yeah, I mean, that whole poem is like sort of like a like civil conflict in a way.
Yeah, he came to what was it, Best Impressions night that Queese Terry hosted. Gosh, I hope he's not gonna be whining. And really interesting dude. He was saying some funny stuff.
He is like, he's so out there, man. Nicest fucking guy, but like, I don't know. There are like times where it's like, it's obviously like sensitive content that I'm editing, and I'm just like, damn, I feel kind of bad. I'm just like getting all this footage, and then he's just like the nicest dude. Like, nah, man, nah, like this shit is amazing, like doing great. I'm like, all right, word. But yeah, I mean, he's like the nicest guy. He's an amazing writer. I feel like we should honestly do something with him because he's like published. Like he's like self-published his own books.
What does it mean to be published as a writer? Just be having stuff out?
Well, I mean, there's two ways of like getting published. Like the first route is obviously like getting a publisher that already exists, like a publishing company, which like you'll
deal with a publishing
essentially,
company.
just a deal with like a publishing company.
So do they give you like, I'm going to give you X amount of dollars for this quarter or whatever, but you have to make this project a kind of book or whatever?
Yeah, it's basically, if you're publishing through a company, they like help you. Like they have connections already, which like they'll like help you sell your book with. But if you're publishing by yourself, you essentially have to like get all your networking done by yourself. Like, you don't have like a company backing you, like vouching that your work is like solid already. You're essentially, you have to like sell yourself, like
which seems so hard because it's not like as a musician, it's not like you can show somebody one song. Like you really have to take the time of day to read somebody's material.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, man, it's literally like, I feel like most arts are like that, where it's like, yeah, you can like show someone, like just a random person, your music, but like, yeah, I don't know, just like being consistent with like showing people and posting and like, that's the idea with Archetypes too, is kind of having kind of an appealing cover. So if people want to just look at the cover, that's fine. Just be like, oh, that looks nice. But then if they want to, you know, keep scrolling, they can see the stuff that we've written and kind of have a more I don't know.
Dive deeper.
Yeah, dive deeper. And then
I think it's kind of integral to our approach that we know reading isn't something people just do all the time, super easily. Yeah.
Do you guys read a lot?
Okay amount.
I've been, this year especially, I've been reading all kinds of, I'm kind of taking a break now just because I finally got to like a burnout point. But yeah, I used to read a lot as a kid, and then all through high school I did not read a single book for fun. But then it must have been during COVID because I had all these books that I just hadn't gotten to. And my dad is a big reader, and I was living with him, so I read like Dune and
That's a big book.
It is a big book. I had the time though. Luckily,
that book, man. I'm never reading it.
Just watch the movie.
David Lynch one, man.
No, well that one too. That one's awesome. But yeah, so just last year I read a lot of stuff, and then this year I think I've read like over 20 books. Like some of them pretty short, but a lot of classics. And I read one philosophy book, so that was my big project for the year.
We do more reading together than writing together, for sure. These guys really bounce like certain style of writing off each other, like Cormac McCarthy and.
We love Cormac McCarthy.
Yeah, I think we're all Cormac pilled.
Yes.
I haven't read any Cormac
Is he,
McCarthy,
Is he have some books out?
He did
Yeah.
No Country for Old Men.
Oh
Like he
my
wrote the
God.
Yeah.
original.
That's
like,
like one of
book.
my favorite movies.
You can
movie's
like
incredible.
that's literally one of the few
Holy shit.
movies I've seen where I'm like I can watch that and very much like get McCarthy's writing style through like the visuals.
It's so well like
It's so like
communicated.
existential and
Did
like
he work on
drawn
the movie
out.
too, or was it just portrayed?
I think he did.
Did he?
I think he like assisted in the screenplay. I mean, he died this year actually, but he would have been around back then.
Yeah.
Which
That
is
I feel
really
like
nice.
yeah, if you're making like a movie about a book, it's like
Yeah.
you can usually tell if it's gonna be good or not if like they have the author on set or not. It's
Right.
like-
It's also the
Yeah.
Coen brothers, so they're like
yeah,
masters of what they do. They're probably going to be pretty thorough about it.
facts.
What
But-
else have they done? The Coen Brothers. I remember just
Burn After Reading. They did Fargo.
Fargo, right?
They did.
Good Times or was that Safdie's? That was
That's
a Safdie. I'm
Safdie's.
tripping.
Other brothers. Newer brothers.
brother filmmaker.
Yes.
Get 'em mixed
Good
up all
Times
the
is a
time.
cool film. That was
Yes.
with Robert Pattinson. and-
Yeah, that was and what's his name?
Benny Safdie was
Yeah,
in
he
it.
plays.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He plays the brother. another
I remember
brother.
I watched like the first 15 minutes of that, and now I'm like forgetting everything
Yeah,
else.
it was
Like,
a while ago.
It's
Don't be
been a
hard
while,
on yourself.
And then not realizing it was Robert Pattinson until
I know.
like the other week when it was on Netflix, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's Robert Pattinson!"
That's
I've seen
him?
This movie.
Yeah.
Seen that movie after Batman. That must be a surreal experience. Like,
What
just
did you guys
watching.
think of Batman?
I thought it was pretty good. I was like, I didn't have high expectations for it, but I just went to the theater with Barry and then some friends, and then I was like, you know what? It's pretty good. He's like really edgy, and he has like running mascara, and
I didn't like it.
no, that's fair. I wouldn't like defend it if I got into an argument, but
I think Robert Pattinson was a fine Batman. The movie was just like.
but it
not
looks so
for me.
cool.
But it's so
It was
awesome.
a pretty emo version of Batman, but also I didn't like how there was like no romantic build up between him and Catwoman the entire time. And
Oh,
then
I
all of a
forgot about
sudden
that.
They have this kissing scene.
That does
Where
kind
the
of
hell
feel
did
like,
that come
Yeah,
from?
Yeah.
that's lame.
so he just like sees her, and that's like we're supposed to assume that it's romantic because they
Yeah.
show a shot of her.
Right.
That's
yeah.
it.
That's how movies work.
Oh, he sees her, so that means they're in love.
He barely had like any word. I mean, I guess Batman rarely talks that much anyway, but he barely. I don't know. And then the ending scene when he's like wading through the water to like save these people was, and then there's like a narration of like what heroes are.
Oh yeah,
It was
that's
just like,
stupid.
this is
That's so
so
stupid.
cheesy.
Showing like
Yeah.
footage of police and
Yeah.
shit. It's like
It
maybe
was-
the police aren't bad.
It was
Yeah.
just cheesy. I thought
No, that's
that-
fair. I'm such a sucker for just like aesthetics. Like if it looks good, I rewatched Avatar 2 with my family. I'm like, do you see how cool that looks? Like the dumbest writing ever, and like the dumbest villain, but if it looks cool, so
We
I
watched
did like
Pacific
a
Rim
real
recently.
movie.
That's I think your like draw to cool stuff is the only way we got through that movie.
yeah, I was.
Because
We
at least there
literally
were cool mech
skipped through it.
fights.
Riley was like, let's just not even watch it. Let's just skip to the action scenes because the rest of it was just like,
Pacific Rim, though.
I've never seen that.
oh,
I don't
it's
know what that-
You don't need to.
you don't need to. It's just like a big like mech fighting big monsters
Oh, okay.
kind of movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I recently learned what mech means.
Really?
Robot. Is it MEK?
MECH.
Mech.
Yeah,
Like
like
mechanic.
mechanic.
Okay.
Can't
Yeah.
wait till the government like actually has those.
You want the government?
I'm willing
have
to
mechs?
wait. I'm willing to wait for giant robots. Like, I mean, come on. That'd be
You're excited
awesome,
for
right?
Anybody to have them, or just specifically the
Privately
government?
owned.
Not for home defense, obviously, but like fucking, just like, country defense.
Sure. Just a wall around the boat. Yeah. It's like Atlantis.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Have you guys seen that? The Atlantis with Milo Finch?
Oh, wait,
Oh,
that's,
the animated movie.
animated-
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies.
That's
Yeah,
honestly
I
one of
barely
my slept
remember.
on movies. I feel like that, like Treasure Planet.
Treasure
Oh, that's
Dude,
good.
so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
I never
god.
saw it. Were those DreamWorks?
Yeah.
2D?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like DreamWorks. They made like the weird. They like
Dude.
They made the weirdest movies, man, but they were
I
good.
did like DreamWorks. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude,
Like they
it's-
they
I don't know
experimented.
if, Iron Giant was DreamWorks, but I remember really liking Iron Giant.
It might have been. Yeah, like early. That made a lot of money
What's
too.
his name? Hogarth.
Hogarth.
Yeah.
Strange
Hogarth!
name. Such a weird name.
Yeah,
I remember
it's a
being
cool
like
name.
10 years old and hearing that. I'm like, no way, that's his
Yeah.
Ew.
Dude, DreamWorks.
What?
They also made the classic film Sinbad, The Legend of the Seven Seas. I have it on DVD. One of the greatest 2D animated movies ever. It's like so silly. Brad Pitt plays Sinbad. I think it was like the last 2D animated movie they ever made, and then they folded because no one watched it. But it has like I have the whole movie memorized.
Sinbad is also a comedian.
He is also a comedian, yeah, and also a story in 1001 Nights.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I remember this
Yeah?
guy. I
That's
don't
a
really
DVD I
remember
have.
the. I feel like if I watched the movie again, I'd get all these flashbacks, but I can't really.
Deep memory.
I remember losing my shit during this movie. I feel like there were so many scenes that I was like, oh man, I remember that. And I was telling you, I
did
was
we
like,
watch it
I'd never
together?
seen it.
This
I'd
kind of
never
reminds
seen
me
it.
of. Have you seen The Prince of Egypt?
it
Yeah,
does
I
look
think that
like
was also DreamWorks. That was like a big hit though, if I remember correctly.
I went to Catholic middle school and we watched this movie like every Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, it has to be. They look the
Yeah.
animation style.
I do love that animation style.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I gotta see this. I've seen it once, probably a long time ago, but
Yeah.
But-
There's this one song in it that's like, all I've ever wanted. Banger of a song.
Is Let My People Go in that one too?
yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
I don't think that's the song, but that's the.
So that's two.
Yeah, there's two. Yeah,
There's two
good
songs in this
soundtrack.
movie?
There's
Two
also another
certified
song when he finally gets to like the desert people after running away from Egypt.
Yeah.
And then it's basically like the time lapse of him getting accustomed to their culture and like dropping his old ways. But that song also, I can't really think of it right now, but is also a banger.
Yeah.
That's how I feel with Mulan, dog. Oh my god, some of
Mulan.
the best music in an animated movie I've ever heard, man.
I haven't seen that in a while.
It's like oh man, is the fucking Make a Man Out of You, the fucking like training song.
yeah.
True.
Why was I thinking of Pocahontas? That's awful.
Dude, I don't think I've ever seen Pocahontas.
I haven't seen either of
Me
them.
neither.
Mulan is great. I fucking love Mulan.
Yeah.
Six Sword.
The live action one.
Yeah, the live action Mulan, my favorite movie of all time.
What?
Have you seen it?
No. Was it good? I mean, has
There's
anyone
no
seen
way
it?
it's
Anyone
good.
seen
There's
it?
no way
Have
it's
you guys
good.
seen Tusk?
No.
Oh, that's with
Barely
the
seen
guy from Barbarian, right? Like the
Yeah, it is actually.
yeah,
it
he's
is.
fucking- what is his name?
I looked him up the other day.
Skarsgård?
No, not Skarsgård.
He's like the guy who is
Oh, the old
Yeah.
man.
Oh God, yeah, that kind of gave it away a little bit. I feel like it's one of those movies where you just gotta watch.
Isn't it Kevin
It's a
Smith?
it's a crazy
Kevin
fucking
Smith
movie.
made it.
What's this? Justin Long, yeah.
Yeah.
He was the
Lily Rose Depp, isn't it?
AT&T guy, or like the Verizon Wireless guy, wasn't he?
I think Lily Rose, she plays like a.
Oh,
literally,
she's
clerk,
a small role. Johnny Depp is in this movie, like
That's so, what
also. That
Haley Joel
detective-
Osment, dude. Oh my god.
This dude, I just found out. What does he do? He
He's in The
does,
Sixth Sense.
Yeah, The Sixth Sense.
Yeah. he's like a
and
child actor.
AI, the artificial intelligence that Spielberg made.
Oh,
Yeah, right there.
He was also in The Boys, man. I remember he had like that. He was Mesmer.
Yeah, he was in The Boys.
It's like the guy that could like touch your hand, like know what you're thinking.
Yeah,
Like,
he was like a child star in
Yeah.
the show too. But
oh shit. Yeah.
He's
True.
like a nice guy.
yeah,
Harley Moore.
I was just thinking because I saw Tusk the other day, and it's like,
Epic
holy
meal
shit, this is Barbarian was also really
dude.
I like that. Yeah.
Barry and I watched it. It was like
I was blown
Where-
away by that movie, man. That was like.
it's so original. It's so like
yeah, right.
switches into a new thing
Yeah.
every 40 minutes. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I wish there were more movies like it.
Yeah. Well, it kind of made me think of the. Have you guys seen? Michael showed it to me. He told me to watch it. It's like White
Awesome.
Bear, like
Oh, yeah.
it's
Brown?
with
Black Bear?
Black Bear. I
Yeah.
think Black Bear.
I haven't seen it, but I know, he recommended that to me so long ago.
That's a movie where it's
Sorry,
like
Mike.
it goes one way the entire way, and then it switches right in the middle, and then it goes a whole. It's like what the fuck?
Yeah.
I fucking love when movies
Yeah.
do that. I mean, I love when movies do that well because it's like really
Yeah.
easy to just like
Dude,
You can cut a scene wherever the fuck you want. It doesn't make it like a good cut. Like, I feel like it's very like you just have to know like where the scene ends to fucking like be able to do that.
And to loop it back too, because it's kind of interesting when it's like whole like the same world. Like, is this the same world or is this the same like? I don't know. Just having your brain go through just trying to figure it out, and then having it resolve at the end is really, really satisfying.
There's a really good Japanese movie called One Cut of the Dead. It's like a horror movie it's like a found footage kind of thing. These filmmakers are making a movie about zombies, but then it kind of it's like one of those movies where it has a huge twist. It's like literally in the end credits. It's very cool. So shout out to that movie.
Yeah.
What was that called?
One Cut of the Dead.
I feel like I've heard that title somewhere. Okay. I don't know. I probably
never heard
it.
of it or seen it, but it just made me think of like the idea of like an actual zombie movie, but then it cuts to like the people like filming a movie about people making a zombie movie.
Yeah, it's something like that.
And then it's like zombie attack actually happens while
right.
they're filming a fake zombie.
That's gotta be like an actual movie. I feel
Nesting
like.
dolls.
I feel like that's definitely a thing though, where it's like, I don't know. I feel like you could pitch any idea to me. I'd be like, yeah, that's probably been done. Someone's probably done that.
Sure. What is yeah? I guess we can segue into your film, Barry.
Bulldog, my film. Oh,
is it out yet? Or
it's we finished shooting the whole thing. It like we're done shooting. We're just like editing right now. It's mostly like Willie like helping out with the edit.
Yeah.
Like
Willie helps with every project I see.
Dude, literally, Willie's like beast mode, dog. Like, just just asking him to work on anything. He's like, yeah, fuck yeah. He really, I mean,
He'll
he's
just give you
like
the best ideas. Like, why didn't I think of that? Why did you just come in here and give me a better idea than mine?
just calling Willie at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Willie.
You up?
You up?
I need an idea.
Yeah.
No, do it. Yeah,
what
no.
should I dream about tonight?
It's like just start screaming random words like, come on, Willie, say something back.
Yeah, right. No, Willie actually wrote 2 stories for us. He sent in these kind of really, one of them is like a really loose like prose poetry almost, just one line and then a space and then one line. And then he sent in like a folk tale. I'm like just so impressed with his range.
He's a really wacky writer.
Yeah,
man. Like,
both of those stories were, I was like, wow, this is really good.
Hell yeah.
Right?
Yeah, like I feel like you guys, I can definitely tell like when there's like a theme going on, but like Willie, it's like the shit that he's turned in. It's been like, what are you fucking thinking? Like,
I know.
where is this coming from?
It's great. You never know what to expect. Yeah.
I mean, it's like, yeah, I love that though. Like anytime someone is just like, I feel like I can usually tell through like doodling. Like anytime someone has like some really crazy doodles, I'm like,
His drawings are crazy. Willie's just a crazy guy.
facts.
I'm always like so impressed with what Willie can just like whip up, because I feel like he's probably watching this right now. I love you, Willie. But I feel like he's just always working on something and always working that creative muscle to the point where he can just like spit cool shit out all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like
It's a
sick.
muscle you gotta like always practice on, and he's always putting in the work of just like doodling or whatever, just like letting it flow out.
Cause I mean, even with like Sick was like the movie that he was doing with Ethan before Bulldog, and it was like you could tell like he was 100% invested.
Unbelievable.
Like, I remember I made like this. I was like in charge of like making the barf for his throw up scene, and dude, it was the most disgusting shit I'd ever made. It was like.
Can you tell us what it was?
Yeah, no, it was like Mountain Dew, like water, chili, dish soap, and like beer.
Wow.
Dude, it
To
was,
get it bubbly?
yeah. I wanted it to be like, looking like foamy and shit. Like,
Right.
ugh.
But
the
the dish soap, did he have to put it in his mouth?
He didn't have to drink it. That's the thing. He didn't have to like
That's
swallow
good.
any of it. So I was like, okay, like I told him beforehand. I was like, okay, if there's dish soap in here,
Yeah, I feel like you
I snuck
been
it in.
good.
I'm like-
Yeah, you would have been good.
I'm like, yeah, I got you the mix, man, the witch's brew.
Clean your mouth out.
Dirty ass man. Nah, that was fucking. He like took it like a champ though. He fucking.
I want to rewatch that movie.
It's like, I don't think we can see it until it's out of like festival runs or
I
something.
never understood that.
I know,
We're
right?
talking to
It's
film
annoying.
kids,
with all
like,
that.
just put it on YouTube.
I know.
What is running the festival? Specifically talking to Mike. He's probably watching this too. But with Yellow Weekends, I was just like, get this fucker on YouTube
For
so
real,
people can
for
just
real.
like see it for free. And I think just the publicity of just having people share the link if they like it, or just like the ease of not having to pay for it, really is worth it.
Yeah.
That's like the weird thing with, I mean, like going like an independent route. If you're like an indie filmmaker, or like just actually like turning into film festivals, it's like most film festivals, they literally require, it's like, this film cannot exist anywhere else. Like,
Right. It's like
if it exists
restricted.
anywhere else beforehand, it's like they're like, okay, you could have made this whenever. Because usually, I mean, you know, it's like film festivals are like recent films, like what you've been making. So yeah, I feel like it'd be weird to just like turn something in from like 2016 and like today, like, oh, this is my film.
Right.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a time when there's been a short film that's been put up on YouTube and it just gets like, it goes viral, and then it makes the film festival people kind of turn their heads and be like, okay, this is
I
like,
wonder.
Definitely. I remember there was a stop motion like Lego animation. I don't know if you guys remember.
people got really into those.
It was one of the
YouTube.
first
Yeah, it was
ones,
early
like one of the
YouTube.
first like animations, like
I know
with
somebody
Legos.
that, you know Jessie Black?
Yeah. I think
she like used to do Lego videos back in the day.
yeah, I remember. I think they were in the film program. Like I don't know if they actually. I don't know if they were in the film program, but
What were you saying about
I
Lego?
remember. What was that? Oh yeah, it was like a Lego like short film that was like, it was posted only on YouTube. Like it wasn't really. I don't know if they were like turning it into film festivals, but it blew up on YouTube, and it ended up like winning like a fucking like Oscar or something. I don't know. It won like an award like for like, you know, like best like short film or whatever. So
Yeah.
I mean, there are like if you truly are like being recognized for having like above average work, like amazing stuff, I feel like, you know, no one's really gonna like keep you from like getting into the limelight. Like I feel like someone's gonna notice eventually, but
Yeah. Also, I feel like the timeline of whatever you project your like people's like filmmaker career is, I'm pretty out of touch with it. But from my perspective, I'm like, wouldn't you just want as many people as possible to see your work right now, rather than like gatekeeping it from the public to submit to these film festivals that you may or may not even get into? And then once it does get to the film festivals, like, who's gonna see it? Like I'm not gonna see it because I'm not really in that film festival world.
I mean, it builds hype for sure. Because I mean, as we're talking about it now, like, and I've told friends about it, I'm like, this is like one of the greatest short films I've ever seen. But it's like you gotta wait like a year to see it. So it is kind of like that anticipation is cool. But yeah,
Dude, I feel like if Sick was on YouTube, that like people would watch it one time and be like I don't know. I feel like there's certain people that love to share crazy shit to their friends, so I feel like that would just in itself.
that's the
just be
funniest
like-
thing though. Ethan, he made Sick, but like the thing was, he kind of like blew up on TikTok before that. Like he has like a pretty decent
he
following
does.
on TikTok.
Yeah.
And there's this one guy that like legitimately sends him something. He sends him like 10 messages like every day. Like literally, like this guy, like he's just in the middle of the road, like he's got like shitty like green screen effects of like him blocking cars and shit, and like literally all he makes videos about are like people driving too fast in his neighborhood.
whoa,
That's like, and he posts
so
he
niche.
posts like 10 times a day, like the most niche content I've ever seen. But he fucking loves Ethan. Like he literally hits Ethan up
Is
like
this dude
all the time.
popular as well?
I don't think so. I think like he probably has like maybe like 1,000 followers or so. I don't even like know his like handle or
Yeah,
anything. I can't even
yeah.
give him credit.
Big
But it's the funniest shit,
big
man. It's
Uptill
like,
fan.
dude, he literally he keeps asking Ethan for his phone number.
Oh, that's
Like, and Ethan is like, he's so tempted to give it to him, but he doesn't want to, just based on the fact that's like, okay, like if he has my phone number, he could literally like call me like every single like
Right.
hour of every day. Like it's cool, you know, it's cool having like a fan like that.
Do you watch,
Like-
I think you should leave.
oh, dude, I've only seen the gimme that, like the professor
yeah,
and the
gimme
fucking
that.
like gimme that. I should have got that.
That's a good one.
I'm just joking. Professor, you're ruining the dinner. Just keep calling
There's
him
a
professor.
funny one that made me think of like I'm gonna butcher it so bad, but there's Tim Robinson is playing like the main, I guess, boss of this political party, and they're in the office, and all of a sudden his phone is going around because they're all putting in lunch orders, and so there's this one coworker from a distance, and Tim Robinson is talking to like a different coworker, and all of a sudden he notices this one coworker like with his phone, like supposed to be putting his order in, but he's like going through it, and then he's like, what is he doing? And then he heads over to the guy with his phone, and he's like, hey, what's going on? He's like, I'm mad at you. He's like, I'm mad at you. I don't know. I do it all the time, but I feel like just being on camera, I'm not giving you justice. But basically, he's like, you're not following me on Instagram. And it's just like super, it just kind of stems into this whole thing of just a crazy stalker person.
You didn't follow me back. Dude, I've definitely done that to someone before. Where I've been like, yo, didn't follow me back, man. Like, all like
what's up,
pensive.
man?
Like, I thought we were homies. Like,
It is a weird thing in this day and age to follow back.
that is like, I feel like it's, I don't know. I mean, social media is like, it's like, that's what's used for, to get in like maybe contact with people you don't know.
Right.
But
But
that's
as far
like
as,
the second it's someone like you do know, it's like, oh man, I don't want to follow them.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a personal thing just with how much, like, I don't know, just the with mental health and everything. If you don't know what's going on through someone else's brain and what they want their feed to look like, and like, I don't think it needs to be a whole thing if they're not following you, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I utilize the mute button a little bit sometimes.
that's probably helpful.
Yeah, I like to like follow people back that like I want to think you're a cool person. Like don't want to like just not follow you out of that kind of the stereotype. But yeah, the mute button's kind of nice just for like my mental clarity and like keeping the feed clean.
Sure.
Definitely. I feel like most of the stories I like try to view are like usually just like other artists, or like, you know, people posting like about what they're doing, like creatively. I feel like that's like, you know, I'm staying up to date on that. Like, it's not like stalking someone. Like, you know, if I, on the other hand, it's like,
Give me your number. Give me
give
your
me your
number.
number. I need to know what you're doing right now.
Archetypes super fans. So many of them.
It's just like us texting each other. Like,
Yeah.
we're our own super fans.
It's like kicking our feet in the air.
What are,
Love you, Barry.
What's like a project you guys are working on right now that
I think
So we've got these two video stories coming out. He's working on one called Broke, and I'm working on one called Rest. They're
Cool.
both like damn near done.
Yeah,
Just
Broke was like we
finishing
wanted
stages.
to get that out for November, but I mean I got fucking wrapped up with like
He's
shooting
busy.
got a
Bulldog.
senior,
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
That's fine.
the only one in classes. You bum asses, man.
I've been graduated.
you guys all video edit?
I just edited the one for Rest, but
Yeah.
I can't even say I edited the video. I made like text boxes for the writing, but the video itself is like a 30-second video of some ducks that I took at the Morton Arboretum, cut straight into a 20-second video of a goose
It's cool.
at the same arboretum. So it's not
Yeah.
like editing, so to speak.
I used to edit.
But
Yeah.
More
Thanks.
than many older people can do these days.
sure, right? It did take me an embarrassingly long time to figure out how to like make my text boxes be consistent with each other.
Sure.
I was like manually making a new one every time
Yeah.
instead of just copy and pasting.
I'd like to try to do some video editing because I used to. The reason I know how to do like Photoshop in the first place, which is what I do the design on, is because we had this. I was very fortunate to have like a computer class in high school where we kind of learned how to use like it was Illustrator, Photoshop, and then Premiere Elements. It wasn't Premiere because that would probably have been too much, but. So I have all these old designs from high school where it's just like I was just making like funny stuff, so I'm not gonna like hate on it, but they are really rough. Just like pictures of me and my friends like holding swords or like fake album covers. Barry has my flash drive right now because it has the poster for Bulldog, so he could look at them. But it's just like, yeah, right.
Going through the folder, I'm like, damn, what is this?
What is this?
What
This
is
like
all this?
10 years old now. But yeah, but I want to try putting like music in the background and just like shooting footage and just making fun stuff. Because I have Creative Cloud, I'm bound to pay for it. So might as well use more than one program because I tried to use Illustrator. I just could not. And also what was it? It might have been After Effects or Lightroom. I was trying to make a motion graphic for Broke. And one of my design friends was kind of telling me how to do it, but I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah,
I didn't go to school for
that's
this.
beyond me.
They're so complicated.
I was trying to make motion graphics in Blender. Too.
Yes.
And I made some progress, but I haven't touched it in a couple of weeks.
Sure.
A lot of irons in the fire
So
with archetypes.
tough.
Yes, we're slowing down.
We're
Now
slowing
you can
down.
do it. I remember I had a section in like a video class once of Photoshop of making it like motion, I guess stop motion. But
Oh,
like,
cool.
putting the timeline on it and then like changing it.
Yeah.
But even that's just like so tedious.
Yeah, that's like the
Takes a
biggest
while.
thing with like animation, especially. I'm like, anyone that like tells me they're an animator, I'm like immediately just like, oh, respect. Like it's
Right.
like
Right.
it's like working in like a factory, like doing like the most tedious work. It's
It's
like
also when it's in 3D too. That's like a whole nother like.
literally like
Yeah.
another
Or
dimension
4D,
that
I
you need to
guess,
account
yeah.
for.
Right. 40.
Yeah. What?
Shit, yeah. This is one animation class I took like my sophomore year. I remember I turned in like the worst animations like ever. Like they were horrible. And it was like there was this one kid that was like an actual animator, and it's like he works on something for like 12 hours. It looks like it's, you know, from like The Simpsons or like an actual like animated series,
dude.
and it's like I'm turning in like stick figures like moving up and down like their knees and shit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you do
Yeah,
this?
no shame. There's levels. There's levels.
That shit, yeah, that made me realize though, that whole class I was like, okay, fucking animators, man, respect. I love you guys.
For real.
Like that's got to be like the hardest like medium that I've at least tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to the Mappa animators that are on strike right now.
Yes.
Anime. What's that? What's
Yeah,
all
what's
this?
that?
Anime.
Oh shit!
Barry doesn't watch
really?
anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really watch.
I'm not even
anime.
that big an anime guy, but I've been watching JJK, Jujutsu Kaisen, and the first 4 episodes of season 2 are so beautiful. And then I guess they were overworking their animators
Sure.
throughout the process of making the season, and it just gets worse and worse, and now they're on strike.
Interesting. Okay. Because
Yeah.
Mappa's known for like the
What's it
highest.
called?
Just look up JJK.
Yeah, just JJK.
It's a
I'll bring it
Japanese
up.
name. Oh,
Like
it's
that?
all one.
Like that.
No, just go backspace and then K. Yeah,
Oh.
Jujutsu Kaisen. It's a pretty good. The animation is crazy in at least the first season.
Hey.
Jump scare.
What's up, Gojo? But yeah, Mappa's known for their like really high quality animation. They did Attack on Titan and
Okay.
Hunter x Hunter. Is that true?
Chainsaw Man. I
Chainsaw
know.
Man is. Everyone should watch Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
That is like it's like watching a movie. That's gonna age so well.
Beautiful
Yeah.
animation in those.
Oh, the opening. Yeah. But
But yeah,
So
you
they're
could see the
overworking
quality.
their.
Yeah, you could
animators?
Yeah, you could definitely see the quality go down, and it was kind of like
Oh.
in the news a little bit, at least in Japan.
yeah,
And I've got friends who like really follow it closely. So
Yeah.
it's a
Are
big
they still
studio.
on strike right now? Or?
yeah,
Damn.
yeah. So the show's on a break right now.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's like the first, if that's has like precedent, like if there's anything that's happened before, like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, yeah, the like overworked anime artists. I feel like this like
Well, the manga
it's like an
industry,
anime
too, is-
artist. I feel like most animes I hear of, like I hear like the artists are like, oh yeah, they're like a shut-in. Like they just work on it all day.
No,
Like,
that's manga,
right.
dude. Like
or
the
manga, yeah, manga.
These people are like the guy who does One Piece, Ichiro Oda. He's like so famous now that he gets a little bit of a break. Like whenever he wants. So because I'm caught up on One Piece, so I
Yeah.
will read it like week to week sometimes. But it'll always be like every third chapter will be like on break next week. But he gets that privilege just because I guess One Piece is the most popular manga in the world until JJK surpasses it, which that'll probably happen.
What
at
is
some
a
point.
manga?
Manga is like Japanese cartoons, so it's like comic books, but a lot better than Western comic
Okay.
books for
So
sure.
it's like actual physical thing, or
Yeah, you can buy. They're called tankobons, like or soft cover, hard cover books
Okay.
that you read right to left.
And they come out weekly.
Yeah, or chapters will come out weekly,
Oh,
and they'll be
okay.
published in Japan in these huge, like, cheaply made. I don't know what they might be called tankobons too, but these big, like, publications, and then they'll be collected into volumes at every, like, 10 chapters or something. It depends on how long
Sure,
the chapter
okay.
is.
How do you get yours?
They're translated a while later into English.
They're backdated.
Yeah, I used to have I was actively collecting them back in high school. So I have actually a pretty big collection right now. But yeah, I had a lot of One Piece too. I bought them off eBay, like ex-library stuff.
Okay.
So I had all these like really gross like spines. They'd be all like yellowed and scratched. There was like a hardcover one that
Character to them.
yeah, but I actually have them in my
What
basement.
do they
somewhere.
look like? Or what are they called? Manga or
Manga, yeah.
manga?
You got it, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Manga like JJK.
Manga like JJK. But yeah, there's a lot of
Physical.
so there's a lot of variety. So you have like there's ones that are made for younger people, which are called shonen or shoujo. So that's stuff like Naruto,
Yeah.
or One Piece, and then there's
I'm a fake
ones.
fan.
Yeah, hell yeah. But then there's
I'm a
ones
fake
called.
fan.
You're a fake fan?
Yeah, I'm a
Oh
fake
damn,
fan.
sorry.
Oh, hell yeah.
You're right. My
I
bad.
love fake fans.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
there's like ones for older people called seinen. So that's stuff like Vagabond right there, and then Berserk is being hidden by the big pic. Yeah, so those are like more mature stories that are the art style is a lot more realistic. 20th Century Boys is my favorite manga of all time. I think. Just
Are these ones that get like pretty gory too?
20th Century Boys isn't. Berserk is very gory. There's actually some really problematic stuff in Berserk. People who have read it, they know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Vagabond is also very gory. I've tried to read it. I'm sorry, I just couldn't keep doing it. But yeah, 20th Century Boys is just like a time spanning drama.
Okay.
There's a lot of range in manga
Yeah.
for sure.
Sick.
Yeah.
It's like
a
most of the
whole
reading that I did.
subculture.
Yeah,
No
there-
idea.
There's a lot of like really stupid tropes and again just like
Like storyline.
yeah. So yeah, the stuff I like the most is the stuff that doesn't have those like tropes or cliches. I guess I don't want to sound like an elitist, but there's a lot of like really just gross shit in the manga industry and anime too.
Sure.
But yeah,
It's like most of the reading that I did growing up was like mostly manga. It's like
Yeah.
weird because I don't read manga anymore at all. Like I don't really watch anime. But like I remember like in like middle school, it was like all the reading I did was like Soul Eater, like Full Metal Alchemist, like those kinds of books.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
I feel like that shit would be interesting though, especially to a teenager.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
dude.
It definitely was like, you know, like I wasn't reading fucking like, I don't even, you know,
War
like I
and
wasn't
Peace.
reading Cormac McCarthy, like that kind of shit in like middle school.
That'd be
you know?
crazy.
It's like, I feel like, yeah, most of what I read was just like manga. This is the weirdest thing, like reading left to right is like such a
No,
strange,
right to left.
Or right to left,
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
Now when like Barry sent me a meme that was like had a guy from One Piece in it, like that Five Nights at Freddy's meme, and I just like
Oh, yeah.
automatically read it in right to left. My brain is
Weird. Like, is
It's
it
our
actually
patron.
sentenced right to left?
So
or is
yeah.
it-
the panels when it's translated into English, it'll be like a dialogue bubble will be like here, here, here. So you have to kind of if you've never read one before, you have to really like
Right. Okay.
it's a learning
But
curve.
you're still going this way, but then like jump to the next bubble.
No, it'll be like the book itself is arranged in a way where what would be the front cover in the West is the back cover.
Oh, I see.
So it opens like, yeah, it's hard to explain without like one here. I should have brought
Yeah,
one, but
yeah. Interesting.
but
That's
oh yeah,
crazy.
Here's The Passenger.
Is he your guys'
So-
favorite writer from or one of them?
Personally, like
One of
definitely
my
my
favorites
favorite.
for
like,
sure. This book, The Passenger, I think like changed how I think about writing.
Really? Just
yeah.
came out.
It's last year. So he didn't write a book for 18 years, and then he put out The Passenger, and Stella Maris is kind of like a short, and that book is really depressing. But The Passenger is just kind of, I don't even know. It's just like a guy just wandering around a city, kind of talking to people at bars just about ideas, and they never really conclude. He's also like a deep sea like wreckage diver, and he finds a plane in the ocean that has like a missing passenger in it, but then the mystery, like, it doesn't even matter. It's so weird. We have Archetypes has a review of it, actually. It's because I just had to tell people that they should read it. But yeah, it's all very, the dialogue, there's no quotation marks. These pages just look like you could read them like 10 seconds, basically.
Is this the book about the
That's with Viggo Mortensen, the
It's a movie.
adaptation.
It's also a movie, yeah.
Is it about like a father and a son?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like that. Like the world is
I've-
like ended.
I've only seen that one clip on one scene on YouTube of like the cannibal house.
Dude, I'm afraid to fucking
Holy
read that book, man. Like it
Holy
is.
fuck.
Everything I hear about it is just like so like gruesome. But I mean, that's like all
his
of
style.
McCarthy's like writing is like. You were saying earlier, it's like, oh yeah, it's just about a guy like walking around. That's like every book. Every book he writes is essentially just a guy walking around at like a certain period of time and like
Just what it
existing
is.
in the environment. It's like
That's cool.
I don't even know what to compare it to. It literally just feels like you're reading like someone's diary from a time period.
Sure. Is it in like first person?
Yeah,
Some
for
of
the
them.
most part.
No,
there
it's-
are
no, it's
times
not.
where it like breaks off into like it's just like, I guess it depends on the book, because Blood Meridian specifically it follows the kid, and that's like it's a mix of the two. Like there will be scenarios where it's literally just the kid talking to someone else, but it's like it is like from a third point, like third was it
Third point.
Third
Person.
person perspective.
third
Person POV. Right?
Wait, why does that not sound right?
That's what I'm saying.
Third person perspective.
in third person. It was
In third
yeah,
person.
in third
You could
person.
just say
yeah.
that. It's in third person.
What's second person? Is there a second?
That's when you say like you did it. Like you walked to the door. You
Whoa.
opened the door.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy to write a story like
Oh,
that.
yeah,
shit.
it's not really done that. I
Be
hear it a
like
lot in
a-
songwriting. Like I don't know.
Like a choose your own adventure book.
Yeah,
That way.
that would be second
Oh,
person.
shit.
Like a
Kinda
children's
telling,
book,
like,
maybe,
You were
like-
walking down the street and then you saw
Right.
this. You
It's really weird. Like
be a
what
lot
it
of yous.
Immediately
Yeah.
think
True.
of like Dora, when it's like Dora's like addressing the audience, like, do you see?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh, okay.
right.
Oh my gosh, you said.
It's like I didn't say that.
I'm saying
Why
that
you put
Dora.
words in my mouth? But yeah, so all his books are kind of written in kind of a very plain language. Like, all his books have no dialogue. I'm pretty sure I've read like 5 of them now. I just finished All the Pretty Horses, which is a very sweet love story. That one actually has like barely any violence in it, but Blood Meridian especially is very violent. Do not read it if you're not
Yeah.
like ready for some shit.
That's like major trigger warning for like essentially
Everything.
like, except like epilepsy, you know.
Yeah, it's worth a read for sure. It's not. I would not suggest reading Blood Meridian first. I would suggest reading All the Pretty Horses.
Yeah.
Very pleasant introduction. He likes to write a lot about landscapes, and he like lived in Texas, so he knows. You'll learn about all these geological formations that you've never heard of before, like promontories and
Yeah, that's like
he brings
actually
up a lot.
that was a weird thing in Blood Meridian. He did all the research like firsthand, because Blood Meridian is about an actual like essentially the book follows a guy joining a scalp hunting crew. So it's like obviously the setup
Holy
is
shit.
not very.
It's
It's
really
like
dark.
immediately you can tell that's not going to be a very pleasant book.
Nope.
But
Like scalp hunting of who? Like Indians?
natives, and because it's going on during the Mexican American War is when it takes place, and it follows a guy named John Joel Glanton, who was a real guy. He was a real like
Sure.
like U.S. like military like guy. But he had documented like his whole like journey of like scalp hunting, and like he hadn't like documented the whole thing, but he had like documentation of it. And so basically Cormac McCarthy like traveled along the route that they traveled and wrote the entire book essentially like following the path that they followed.
I had no
That's
idea.
sick.
And the book,
Yeah.
I mean, the book has been like fact checked by like actual historians for like the time period. And most historians say that's like even the things that are in the book, like even the things that are in there that didn't actually happen, they're not too far off from something that he probably had done or would have done.
Yeah.
It's like it's probably like one of the greatest like recreations of like a person, like a real person.
Yeah. And there's this book that like what Barry's talking about, the account of it, it's very out of print. Like there's only a scan of it. I think someone bought the book, probably just a good Samaritan, like people should read this. But it's like this very old account of a person who knew Joel Glanton and the judge, who's the other. Everyone talks about the judge when they talk about Blood Meridian, but he's like the.
I don't think he was like an actual person. I think maybe like there was someone like him.
Well,
like,
yeah. I mean, it's fiction, so it's going to be a little.
Like the judge is a different character.
He's essentially like the whole like thing that I got from it was like he's the devil. He's essentially like he's the representation of every bad thing that the group has done. But he's like literally, he's like their Saul Goodman, where it's like
the main character or the judge.
The judge is like Saul because he doesn't like. Obviously, he does like horrible things like in his own time, but like he spends most of his time like defending the actions, like the shitty actions of other people. So it's like kind of like a different level of evil where it's like you're not committing the act, but you're like justifying it.
Right.
Yeah, there's these long, because the book is kind of divided into like, there's all these, again, like paragraphs of just like what the landscape looked like, and that stuff gets a little bit tedious, but then there's like other passages where it's just the judge and all the gang just around a campfire, and the judge is like, this is why war is good. And he just like goes on and on, and you're like, it's this kind of evil where he can rationalize it. Like Joel Glanton, he's just, I don't know.
Joel Glanton is like actually, I mean, he's evil, but he's very open about it. It's like at least he's not a hypocrite. You know, it's like fucking he's an asshole, but he is like very like he's like, yeah, fuck you, like I know I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
But the judge is like, yeah, he fucking there's like a scene where it's like I think they like kill like a bartender or something. And then it's like everyone from the town or like some people like confront them and they're like, well, why did you kill this man? And then the judge just goes on for like an entire page just being like, well, this man threatened our life. Like,
yeah, he just makes it up.
Yeah, and it's like...
It's crazy.
Yeah, he plays the fiddle. Like, he's an amazing musician. He speaks like multiple languages. He's like educated. He's been around the world. They describe him as like talking about like he's been to France, London. And this is like 18 like...
Yeah.
You know, this is like very like he would have to like gone there by boat type shit. Like,
right.
No aeroplanes back then, man.
He is, yeah. There's also, there's this great scene where it's kind of like a shootout. It's not a spoiler. It's just towards the end. There's a shootout where the judge is trying to kill someone, but then the way it describes it, it's like he's passing through, like, he'll like walk and then disappear behind something that he would not physically be able to disappear behind. So it's a shootout in like a riverbed that has like a bunch of bones of like donkeys and stuff. So this person's trying to like shoot him and see him, but it's like he's like passing in and out of reality, and his voice is just kind of all around. It's very like
kind of trippy.
Yeah, like magical realism or
just trying to like read that for the first time, like having that like described to you is like
it's so hard.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's a really hard book to read.
Is he just like what I don't know, like what is the reasoning behind that?
Essentially, I mean, I think the judge, like I said earlier, I think the judge is literally just the devil. Like he's literally just like the embodiment of like not just like evil, but like evil like
Interesting.
Well, yeah, I guess just like evil, I guess.
The
like
part of you that wants to justify evil also.
Yeah, the justification, like your own like rationalization, like, well, why shouldn't I do that? Like
he has all these lines about like whatever exists without my whatever exists without my knowledge exists without my consent. So he'll like he keeps a journal where he'll look at like cave paintings or whatever and copy them into the journal and then erase the original. So it's like he's trying to have mastery of everything. It's really disturbing. Yeah, like he'll draw stuff and then it's like it's mine now. It's in my journal. It doesn't exist anywhere else.
He's such a like. I mean, he like describes war as like the ultimate like way of deciding who and who is not worthy of living, because like what better way of deciding that than like a random chance, you know? Because it's like, you know, he talks about how like war has turned into something where it's no longer like, it's not like hand-to-hand combat anymore. It's quite literally like you just get hit by a bullet if you're unlucky. Like it's just, you know, the luck of the draw.
Right.
And he was describing that as like, is there anything more perfect than deciding who is like worthy of living just by random chance? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
Dark.
The way it's written too is like, it's literally like, it doesn't even seem like he's making like a hot take or anything. He's just like, yeah, war is awesome.
Right.
I love it. And
War
it's
is
like,
God.
Yeah, war is God.
He says
That's
war
like,
is God.
Yeah.
It's crazy when authors steel man a position like that so good that you don't know if they mean it or not.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, I was just like, when you're in the head of the author like that, like this dude was really thinking these thoughts of how deep was he in this character, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
Just thinking about him like traveling along that route as well. Like he was there. He was like, bro, like fucking, that shit is insane, man.
Yeah.
I actually wrote in Bloody Bandages, it's about a dictator. You don't really know what happened, but you can assume like there was a coup and he's giving a speech to his people now. So I had to like write a speech that a dictator would give. And as I was writing it, I was like, I keep having more and more ideas. Like what is this mindset that I'm inhabiting while I'm writing this?
Yeah.
It is a weird
And it's-
mindset. Like thinking about how you would address a country that you took over. But like also everyone isn't also, you know, people aren't thinking about like, damn, this guy just took over. Like, you know, it's like, what are the first words you like say to people when it's like you take power?
It's
like
weird to like separate yourself. It's like not what I would say, but what would this person
Yeah.
say?
Yeah,
Putting
literally.
yourself in
Persona.
their shoes.
I'd imagine it's like acting where like you have to find it in yourself, but it's not you.
yeah.
Right.
You are just a vessel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
Also,
I
I'd
feel
say
that way. Like definitely, there are a few times where I'm like writing a story and I'm like this is like it just doesn't like I can't even relate to it. So I'm like, okay, like how can I expect someone else to? It's like anytime I'm writing something, I try to like start with like at least like the first sentence being like just something that originates from like something I know. Like, you know, it, like just starting off with that, man.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
Also, I will say that Riley did accomplish his goal because his story about a dictator, his speech is very good. This is currently unreleased. Or no, it's not
No, it's
unreleased.
out,
It was
it's
in
out.
hit pieces or
Yeah,
most,
it was in hit
second
pieces.
to most. Or like
Where
most
do you
recent.
release it?
It's on Instagram.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
So all their stuff is.
We have a Substack too, but
we
it's
have
kind
an
of, you know.
I didn't update.
Is it on Archetypes? Like,
Yep.
on there? Okay.
Yeah, we had the Substack. Someone suggested we make a Substack, and then I
What's
was
a
like,
Substack?
it's like a WordPress, but just a different kind of like a hosting place for kind of words and
I
stuff.
see, okay.
Yeah, so I made it, and then I haven't updated it since April. So like, I think that was our was our like fourth installation or whatever. I don't know what we call them.
So it's kind of like a
Thing.
landing page for all of your pieces.
Yeah. It's also that like I had talked to some people. I had talked to my aunt actually, and she said because she's a published writer, she's working on like a 6-book like academic mystery. That's all she just like all day every day she's writing. So and she's actually inspired me to write. She called me a wordsmith when I was a kid. I was like, my mom would always tell me that like, you know, Aunt Jude is calling you a wordsmith. You gotta
Hell yeah.
you gotta live up to that or something.
No, it was do something with it.
No, it wasn't like that, but yeah. So she and I had like we hung out one night. We got like dinner, and she was saying that the stuff was a little hard to read for I guess the design of it. So I was like, oh yeah, like so that's when I stopped. There's a point in Archetypes where it stops being all like caps, like the stories were all in caps. And I had other friends that came to me and they were like this is really hard to read. Like you gotta.
Why are you shouting?
Yeah, like they would suggest me to use, I didn't know because it was honestly like I didn't know how to use lowercase. Like because the typefaces I was using were I didn't know how to switch them. But then my friends they were just like, oh yeah, just like here's a font to use. Here's like textures and stuff. So then after that, it like really was easier to read, I think. But going back to the Substack, that would be a place where you would just be able to read it. Like, it's just words. There's no like background color or anything.
Sure.
So yeah. So I was
Cool.
made aware of a problem and I tried to deal
Fixed
with it. Yeah.
Pivot.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what was that project called?
It's called Bloody Bandages.
Bloody Bandages.
Actually,
I thought it was called
no.
Many Will Be Judged.
Yeah, Many Will Be Judged. I was mixing
The
that up with
Judge?
something else. Yeah, Many Will Be Judged is what that one's
yeah.
called.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, and that was Hit Pieces.
Hit Pieces.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Which was our
So we were all trying to write something that's like shooting down some kind of
right. Barry's story.
Idea that we
I
don't
forgot
like.
what I wrote.
mind being dictators.
Mine was
I
about
don't like
a,
dictators, you know.
Yeah.
for
Not a
real.
fan.
Fuck dictators.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Did I do the fun game?
no, Fun Game was Unrest.
Oh, okay.
Yours was something.
Damn straight it was.
It was something. Oh, was it? Oh no, it wasn't the one about the gas station. I don't
Don't
know.
feel bad, bro. It's my piece.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I should remember the name of it.
Mine was about like a
Something.
interview. Like someone had a deadly illness and they thought that if they talked about it they would die. And it's just someone trying to interview that person. So that was kind of my hit piece. Yeah, let's see what Barry's is. I'm sorry, Barry.
Hey, man.
Oh wait, it wouldn't be on the Substack. Yeah, it's a picture.
Oh, yeah, it was
that
hit
one.
pieces. Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool.
Fresh Kill.
Fresh Kill.
That's what it
Yeah.
is. Okay.
There it is.
Yeah, that was the it's like a car dealership, like, or a car salesman talking about his boss. This is such a weird story. I don't know like where
That's
the
good
fuck
shit.
this came from. I
Yeah.
think
I thought
I
this
was
was good.
I was trying to write something about like the first idea that I started from was a car dealership or a car salesman talking about his customers like they're, you know, like deer, or like a hunter talks about deer or something. But then it just literally turned into like, you know, this motherfucker, his boss, just talking about how like he like blew a hole through like a baby rhino, and it's like, I'm such a good hunter.
Just changing the conversation right away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
This is our second story about prize hunting because Riley had written a story way back for Leaden, which was that fourth one about achievement, about like a woman who is kind of forced into joining a prize hunt in Africa or something.
Yeah, that one's out there.
Yeah.
So do you scan these in then?
No, I typed these in. So
Okay.
yeah, I used to do it where I would transcribe them. I'd have to type them up. It would be really annoying. But I
Right.
figured out you could copy and paste Photoshop. So this is I had no idea what I was doing. I
Nice.
still
Awesome.
don't, but I have more of an idea. But yeah, this is my story. I had read a book. If I can just shout out a book real quick. Great book called The Savage Detectives by Roberto Bolaño. It's about like a 600-page book about this like fake poetry movement in Mexico City, and just kind of these poets that just disappeared and they went up north. And the first part is this guy describing these poets, and like it ends with him leaving with them because they have to escape because they're like wanted by these like criminals or gangsters or something. And then the second part is just kind of 20 years of people being asked about where the people went. So it's just like, it'll be like the name of the person and then where they were interviewed, the date. And then it's like, I think I saw them here and this is what I was doing at the time.
Right.
And then they'll be mentioned in accounts of like other people. So I was,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, it's not, I mean,
So is it a series where you find out where they disappeared to, or like all uncovers at the end? I don't know if I.
yeah, kind of. I guess the second part is just like trying to communicate an idea of like these kind of weird people that no one really knew and who kind of didn't even believe in what they were saying. Just kind of like what would happen to people like that. But then the third part is they kind of find them because they're looking for this poet who you look at her poems and they're just like lines. They're just drawings. And it's in the book. The book is, you know, like all words and stuff. And then her poems are like a wavy line and then a straight line. And it's like, oh my God, what even is this?
Right.
And so they try to find her because they're so fascinated by like what even was she doing?
Clues.
But yeah, clue, right. So
That makes me think of House of Leaves. You guys remember that book?
Yeah, I haven't read it. That's your...
Yeah,
Tell 'em.
it's such a weird, but it's essentially like, I mean, the whole book is about a guy breaking into like this dude that just died, this blind man. He breaks into his apartment like after like, you know, it's been taped off or whatever, like he's no longer there. But he like breaks in and he finds a script for a movie that doesn't exist. And even if it did exist, it like he wouldn't have been able to see it because the guy was blind. So it was like an entire script with like an analysis and like footnotes that like take you nowhere. If you'll be reading the book and there are actual footnotes that you can type in online and they'll take you to like an actual source. Like, yeah, it's like he'll be talking about how like he broke into this guy's house and the week before he had done it, like he was attended a lecture on like Roman civilization, and then there's like a, you know, like a footnote for Roman civilization. It's like it's not referenced at all in the book other than him like talking about it in passing. So it's like this weird, like, I don't know, it's like breaking the fourth wall where you can go in real life and look up all these sources, some of which are real and some of which are not, like they're just bullshit, like he just came up with it. But it's like it's so weird reading like a non-academic piece. Like it is fiction, it's like not, you know, it's just a fucking story, but being able to like track like references as you're reading the book, it's like I think it's the only book that the author is
House of Leaves.
House of Leaves, yeah. It's like the only thing he's written that's like famous, I feel like the only thing that like blew up at least. It's so weird. It's literally, there are like pages with just like music notes on them.
Weird.
Like just nothing, like no like words or anything.
It's like, what's the whole point of it?
It's basically, oh god, it's insane. It's really insane. It's the like the something.
Is it
organic
like
literature,
like clues like all throughout it? Oh yeah.
It's kind of like a puzzle.
It's pretty much. I mean, Zampano. That's the name of the guy, the blind guy.
Epistolary fiction.
Letters.
Like an epistle, yeah. That's weird.
Huh. Yeah, it's like...
There's like pages that will have the words are upside down or where they're like out of the margins. It's like the printer messed it up.
Oh, sure.
I haven't read it, but I've just seen like scans of it, I guess.
It's insane, man. The Navidson record.
Sure.
Basically, there are like these scenes throughout the book where they're talking about this guy Navidson Zampano. His real name is Navidson.
Yeah.
But he has these records of where he would like... Okay, I'll break down this one scene.
Break it down.
Dude, this shit is insane. It's literally Zampano documenting like this void room in his house.
Yeah.
So it's basically like there's this door.
Zampano is blind?
Yeah.
Blind,
He's blind, Navidson record, but he's exploring this. I forget when he actually went blind. I don't know if he's been blind his whole life or whatever. I think it like had to do with like what he saw that like ended up making him go blind. But it's the weirdest. There's really an entire section in the beginning describing how they would explore this void room in their house, and they would like go in with a camera to like get things like, you know, they would like try and get like, oh, what's in here? Like, what the fuck is going on? And it's literally just like them describing like, okay, we would go through the door and then there would be a window about like 10 feet down the hallway, and it would just be a hallway, and you would go through the window and then past that there would be another door, and it was just a fucking like never ending hallway. And it eventually just gets to a point where it's like, oh yeah, and then radio contact cut off and only what's his name, Navidson came back. And it's like the footage like shows him just like killing everyone.
Whoa.
Like literally just going insane. Like,
Jeez.
What the
it's such a strange book. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Are there any other books like that are famous?
I'm gonna
never.
go to the bathroom.
Okay.
I've literally never like seen another book like that where it's like
there's this
just everything about it.
Sorry. Trying to talk about this creepypasta that I remember.
You read in 8th grade.
No, I would listen to creepypastas growing up. It's so bad for me. But there's like a creepypasta called No End House. And there was like 3 of them where these people would go in. It was set up like a fake haunted house, or a haunted house where you go in and the first room would be like, you know, kind of corny decorations. But the second room, and it would just get like scarier and scarier. And it turned out like the first room would show you what you're not afraid of. And it's like, oh, it's so lame. Like, why do we even come here?
Money.
I know, money. But the second room would be like what it would get like more and more messed up. So and then you like couldn't get your way out of the house. You'd be stuck in it. And so that this one guy saw like a vision of his like dead father coming back to life and like yelling at him and like beating him.
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And there's like 3 of the. I think the third one was like an hour and a half long. But yeah, I just remember that. It sounds like what you're saying, like a corridor that like doesn't end and kind of go crazy in it.
Yeah, like I feel like it's weird because Ethan, man, fucking shout out up to
What's up with Ethan? What's up, Ethan?
He wanted to make a House of Leaves script.
Yeah, he was telling me about
Yeah,
it.
he's telling me about that too.
And it was like the way he was like pitching it, man. Oh my god! Like the way he was describing.
It's all right.
I'm listening.
The way he was describing like the script that he wanted to do and like comparing it to the book, I'm like, dog, I don't know if that's possible. Like,
It's so ambitious for Ethan.
yeah, it's so like because like essentially he wants to break the fourth wall without at any point breaking the fourth wall. And I just
That is the most Ethan thing.
that's what I'm saying.
It's
I'm
so
like,
it's so
Breaking
cool.
the fourth wall without breaking the fourth wall.
that's what I'm saying. It's literally like it doesn't sound like it's possible, but
No.
I'm sure Ethan will. Sure, find a way.
It has because he wants to do something like House of Leaves, but,
Yeah.
like in film form. So like having these references to websites and kind of making a web of his own thing. It's called an AR, like augmented reality story. There is a couple of them on YouTube. Like this house has people in it, which is one of these like really scary. Like I think it was on Adult Swim, like that kind of thing. Just kind of a indie filmmaker just making a found footage horror movie, or like Too Many Cooks.
Okay.
It's like all these
Oh yeah.
just these surreal weird things that kind of like signal to other things in real life. Oh shit, what's up, Riley?
Yo, what up, dog?
You know, it's funny. So I'm skipping this philosophy class right now
Yeah.
Whoa.
because I've read a book that is similar to House of Leaves that we're reading in
What?
class.
Oh,
So I'm kind of ahead of the classwork, either or.
you're reading either or? Okay.
Yeah, it's like
Nice.
this book where he published it under a different name anyway. Soren Kierkegaard's his real name. Published it under some like
Anticlimacus?
Yeah. he had all these alter egos that were like Latin names for like ironic stuff like that, like anticlimax or
He's doing a lot of trolling.
What was his name?
Well,
Soren
good for him.
Kierkegaard was the actual guy's name.
Okay.
He's like
But,
Where is he from? Like,
he's a
Denmark.
Danish like existentialist
Poor guy.
philosopher. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And
Danes.
he's the
they
guy
got
that
it rough.
wrote House of Leaves?
No, he wrote a book in the like 1870s or something that it's similar because it's under a different name anyway. And then the intro of it is like a letter from the editor or note from the editor that says, "Hey, I found this. Everything you're about to read, I found in a desk that I bought." And I had to piece it all together just so you know it's like not necessarily in chronological order. There's some letters in there. There's this whole section of these like aphorisms that don't
Interesting.
that don't really make much sense. So like just so you guys know that's what this is. So you read the stuff that was in the desk and then the editor comes back and is like, "All right, I don't like that guy's perspective on life. I'm going to write like an answer to his perspective on life and like show you guys a better way to live than this guy."
I didn't know it was written like
But
that.
So
That's cool.
interesting.
He
kinda
wrote,
funny.
he was the editor?
Yeah, he wrote all of it.
Yeah.
Soren Kierkegaard did, but
Cool.
He was trolling.
he was super trolling in Denmark.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool, though.
He was a weird, he like called off this engagement to a woman he was going to be married to and just like started writing philosophy instead. So I haven't read it. I bought a book by him finally, but that's Riley's super into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I love him.
That reminds me of was it Machiavelli the Prince, where it's
Yeah.
like he opens the book being like beware of flattery, and then like the first paragraph is like, "To the king reading this, I love you so much.
Yeah.
You're such an amazing king." Like
That's funny.
it's like literally he's like, yeah, just beware of people that flatter you because like they're probably like after something else, and that's just immediately like,
Right.
"You're such a good king."
I think Machiavelli was like, it was supposed to be a satire. Like,
Yeah,
and then
no,
people
I-
took it to be real, and then that's where we get like Machiavellian, like the adjective, when someone's like really scheming and plotting. But it's like he didn't even, he was making fun of people who would do stuff like that, like, you know, trying to get the crown or be king and stuff.
It does very much feel like he's just writing like the opposite of what he's used to type shit.
Probably,
it's like
yeah.
he just like he has like, you know, he's so used to being just like, you know, fucking just an official or whatever. He's like, okay, how could I be the worst official ever? And that's how he wrote the book. Like,
Yeah.
fucking just like betray everyone. Like, that book is crazy, man. It's like
Yeah, I want to read it.
the art of war, but evil. Like,
I've read The Art of War.
it's a good
Really?
book.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's definitely I understand why people love it so much because it really is like philosophical.
Yeah, it's almost like a self-help kind of like.
Yeah, it's like how
for
can you like
artists.
live your life like in a more like, you know, but it's just the way it's written is like, I just like to make fun of it because it's like don't run at your enemy uphill, like you'll lose, and it's everyone's like, oh what, like no. It's like the first example of like documented strategy. It's like don't shoot yourself. Like, oh my god, this guy.
How do you know that?
It's like, so I had to write it down.
What kind of stuff do you read? We've talked.
Not
Talking about-
enough, man. Not enough. I have this awful habit of starting a book and then getting halfway and just not finishing it.
That's
That's valid.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I saw the books back there.
Yeah, that's a lot of Sheila's.
cool.
She reads a lot.
Okay.
She'll go to the library a few times a week or
Oh,
whatever
nice.
it is. But I couldn't tell you the last thing I read. I need to get back into it, dude.
It's
That's the
hard.
thing,
It's
man.
like-
I never read like growing up or anything. Like I fucking hated reading, man. That's mostly because
Damn.
reading was like, it was like assigned reading where it's
Sure.
like, okay,
Right.
like you have to read what like, you know, fucking teachers assigning.
I liked reading growing up. I was in Battle of the Books and all
Oh
that
shit,
stuff.
that's actually
that?
hard. Battle
Yeah,
of
what
the
is
Books
that?
was like,
It was basically where you split up into teams of 4 kids, and then you're assigned like 25 books throughout this until like the battle happens, and you basically have to read these books between your team, and then know the author and the title of the book for extra points, and then the battle is basically where you're against another team, and this person or the curator or the ref or whatever is like explaining a passage from the book, and then you have to know like what book that was out of the 25 books.
Oh, that's cool.
Whoa.
And
That's
then
cool.
you get extra points if you know the author and the name of the book.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my team won.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember those competitions. I like heard about those competitions. Crab cake, man. Love that guy. But
He's off camera.
what was that?
These are the first few podcasts with Crab Cake. It's been a learning curve for everybody.
His face is like directly through the circle light, man.
That's funny.
Looks so ethereal, crab cake. What was I saying, man?
Battle of the book. You did.
Oh
it too?
yeah, like I never did that because I was, you know, I was already in chess club, man. I didn't have time.
Battle of the
Flex.
Books.
But also,
I don't play chess.
I'm too busy playing chess, guy. Like, said free pizza. I'm like, yeah, let's go.
I'll move this piece.
Just forfeit every game. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you got me.
I got pizza though.
Where's the pizza though?
Yeah, where's the pizza?
Pizza.
though?
Just play one game.
I did recently read, I guess, like, I think maybe actually in high school, like, one of the last things I read was Farewell to Arms.
Oh, the Hemingway book.
Hemingway? That was
Yeah.
really cool.
I
I
gotta
know
read it.
Hemingway kind of gets a bad rep
Yeah.
these days as, like, the man's man, just
Yeah.
kind of, like,
Yeah.
over
Just like-
emasculating everything.
I haven't read a lot of Hemingway, but that is
I
like,
was gonna say he's probably similar to like the that one
McCarthy.
Cormac,
McCarthy, whereas like he really lays out the landscape almost to the point where it's like, oh, okay, I kind of chill out.
Yeah.
yeah. Calm
It's
down.
They were in the desert, bro. We get it. Just say the desert.
Like getting mad reading it. Like, what the fuck? Why does he keep talking about it?
Dude, I got mad reading Blood Meridian. I'm like, because to go back to it, every chapter starts with "they wrote out." They wrote out onto the and it's all like these run-on sentences. They go on and on. It's written in like a biblical style too. So the Bible would have like not a lot of punctuation. They're just kind of like, and they did this, and then they were doing, and then they moved on to this, and then, but yeah,
Very straightforward. You can tell the author, he's trying to get the point.
I mean, yeah, you look at him, it's like, oh, that makes sense. He's just like we never knew him when he was young because he was like 92 when he died.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Just this year.
I mean, he was fucking. I remember I've seen a few pictures of him like young as fuck.
Dude,
he
he
looks
was
exactly the same.
He was a handsome guy.
His hairline looks exactly the same. Like,
that
I don't
true?
think. I think he got to like probably age 50, and his hairline was like, it's just how it was. Like
Yeah.
it never changed.
Let's see it.
He had more of a sparkle in his eye when he was younger, for sure. You look at pictures of him, and he's like, he's so soft spoken in interviews too. Yeah, dude, look at that
Nice.
guy.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. He was like broke as fuck in that picture probably, because he would refuse to do interviews. He wouldn't even. They would just
His
like,
first interview was Oprah.
Yeah, he does
He didn't do his
look
first interview until like
crazy.
Oprah was on TV and already famous.
and that was for The Road too, which was like Pulitzer Prize or whatever the big prize is, Nobel. I don't know.
No
He's
bells.
got a big forehead.
Because he's always thinking, man. He's thinking about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's
man.
for real.
Oh,
The
look, it's
American
Sam-
dream is in
all
that
these
Sam
forehead.
Jackson. What?
Just watched The Hateful Eight.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
Interesting movie. Lots of dialogue.
yeah. I gotta see that
sure.
again.
It's a really good movie. I remember I saw the extended version.
Oh,
It's literally
man.
like
The
it's like
miniseries.
5 episodes. They're all like an hour a piece. Like
God.
it's fucking dude. Like the way he draws out like every shot. It's like there's like a guy that's like, okay, I'm gonna go. He has to like drive stakes into the ground like in the snow
Yeah,
so
yeah,
people can
yeah.
like get to the bathroom.
Yeah.
In the extended version, they show you the entire scene.
I think I watched the extended.
Well,
Dude, it's literally like
because
he like
it's just one cut and they like keep going back and forth.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
literally just like a solid shot of just him like putting stakes in the ground so like people
Like
can go
in
to
the blizzard and they're like running back.
We gotta show how they
grabbing
did this.
stakes. Yeah, for
Yeah.
real.
It's like literally all he says is, I'm gonna go do this, and then he goes outside. I think in the original it's like they literally cut like as soon as he goes outside. It's like, you can assume that he's gonna do that.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like lying, like I'm not gonna
Might
do
as well
that
film
actually.
it. Might as well film it. Have you guys seen Donnie Darko?
Yeah, a
Just
while
watched
ago.
that for the first time too. That's
What'd you
It's a good movie, yeah.
Scary.
really good movie. Pretty fucking creepy.
Yeah.
But like not too creepy at all.
I remember just being like feeling like weird, so weirded out watching
Yeah.
it in high school.
Yeah.
It has an atmosphere.
I had to look it up like what it just like explain video
Yeah.
afterwards. I love movies like that.
Yeah.
But basically there's like 2 type of realities and the whole movie is
Yeah.
based on like if it's like basically just following the one off reality and then coming back to like the real one. I don't know. Yeah, I can't explain it. It's fucked.
They're
It's
kind of like
really
overlapped.
interesting. Yeah, and like, yeah, just it really goes into it. But it's a cool movie.
When did that movie come out? It's a little older.
2001.
That's like young. What's his name?
It's Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal,
Yeah.
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 It's like 99 or 2001.
It's gotta be like
2003.
It's not his first role, right?
Look it
No,
up.
he had
No
other
way.
stuff before that.
Probably his first like breakout role.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if there's a trend there where like
The explain videos in the history.
Yeah.
You were kidding.
Awesome.
Oh, 2001.
2001.
Okay. My birth year.
That's his,
Pre or post 9/11?
His sister is actually his sister.
Oh, I didn't know she
shit.
was in that.
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, she was in Dark Knight and some other stuff probably.
Dude, Seth Rogen is in it
Never
too.
knew Seth Rogen
was in
Super
there.
young Seth
Are you
Rogen.
kidding me?
Ricky Danforth. Is he one of the bullies?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I remember that. It's like the Little Women, like seeing Bob Odenkirk.
Oh yeah.
Bob Odenkirk?
Yeah, it's a good movie. Pretty dark.
I just wonder if there's a trend like we have Marvel movies. They're all about the multiverse now. But I feel like that was kind of a rare thing at the time to have like alternate realities going on.
For
Yeah.
sure.
I wonder what that means. I don't know.
Well,
Like humans
What's the
are
trend?
becoming,
I feel like they never
more
made.
accepting of like different universes and stuff, and then I feel like we might get to a point where that's actually going to be a thing where we can tap into that
that'd be crazy.
Yeah,
those different universes.
like
I think-
Interstellar, like there are
Yeah.
beings in adjacent dimensions.
Marv.
One of the greatest scenes.
That is actually a pretty good scene.
Banging on the book.
In Interstellar, spoilers for Interstellar,
When he's like inside the bookshelf, right?
yeah, and
Oh yeah,
Just saying that, like when he's like, he's
like-
one of the books.
no, he's like in the fourth dimension or whatever, and he's like trying to tell. Because in the beginning there's like dust. Yeah, everyone knows. Yeah,
We've seen it.
It is like because he's pounding so hard, but then it's like just the smallest reaction on the other end.
it's scary. It's like
It
a
is
dream.
kind of great, like
Really
seeing
laid out
rewatching that movie and like watching that scene again when like the book falls on the ground. I won't lie, I got goosebumps. I was like, okay, I know what's happening. Matthew McConaughey's in there.
Literal
Like,
goosebumps.
Get all pensive and shit like 20 minutes in.
Damn, so he's like in there. What does that even mean?
Seen the movie before. What's
That one is one where you have to watch it a few times.
That's
to
true.
really, like,
Definitely. That movie, I remember I saw that in theaters when it was my Michael Jordan flu game. I like had the flu and my brother wanted to go see this movie in theaters. So like we both went and I was like, ugh, like felt like shit the whole time.
What is this? I want to go home.
Like made it so much more like surreal. I'm like,
I'm sure, yeah.
like tripping the fuck out in the theater.
It is a weird, like, it just kind of puts you in a world where it's like, what is happening? Like, the last crop is failing or something.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, I guess that's a thing. And then they just have to go to space to... It's a pretty, like... I mean, yeah, it's a
the
sad
Yankees
movie.
are playing, and it's like it's like a high school field.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so... I forgot about that. That's so
Are you talking about that
weird.
ending
Yeah.
scene where it's like,
No.
the fucking, oh,
No,
pretty
well,
early
that
on.
scene too is
that's crazy, man. The fucking like breaking like the window like above them. I'm like, what the hell?
makes me actually feel like that's the world that we live in now.
I feel like, dude, if I had the opportunity to live on like a ring world, just like, you know, just like a
Like the
fucking
books?
ring around like a planet or something. Which books?
There's like a series of books called Ring World. Like fantasy
it.
books. My dad's
Already
Another
Yeah.
idea I can't.
Get my dad on the
Already
podcast to talk
there.
about Ring World.
Fucking ring world, dog.
He's like, this is actually like tell me like updates every day. Like, okay, so the dwarves are like, they're like plotting against whoever. And I'm like, oh, okay, word. I just woke up, but
The dwarf planet, man.
Yeah.
Mountain planet.
Mountain Planet. But anyway, sorry.
I know that book has like the craziest lore.
I
And
think
it's
it
probably
was-
like 10 people have read it.
Yeah. Oh no, it's like Terry Pratchett, who's a pretty like well-known fantasy. I haven't read anything, but I don't like fantasy really. But
Yeah.
it was yeah.
It's like me trying to read Lord of the Rings for the first time. I was like, I love the movies. I'm like,
Dude.
damn, these books suck.
I saw those movies for the first time this last summer.
What?
Really good.
Yeah, man.
movies.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah. We were actually
Love
talking
those
about the two towers. Which one is that?
That's it,
The Twin
yeah.
Towers.
Bro, you have to go there.
Come
My
on.
bad.
That came
Sorry.
out like post 9/11 too, and they tried to convince Peter Jackson or the studio to like rename it so it wouldn't be obviously like thinking of 9/11. But he's like,
it's
no,
tough.
it's like the name of the book. Like, what do you do?
There's actually a really good interview between Viggo Mortensen and some guy who had a talk show.
Charlie Rose?
Yeah, have you seen it? I think I put it on for you guys.
Yeah, we were hanging out. Yeah.
Because Charlie Rose was grilling Viggo Mortensen, being like, "Is like, so you're saying this movie isn't like pro-America?" And Viggo's like, "No, like, why would you try to make this book that was written in the 50s
Right.
relate to like the war in the Middle East right now?
Right. By a
What are
British
you talking
man.
about?"
Yeah, literally
yeah,
like a
and then
British
Charlie
guy.
Rose is like, "Oh, so you're
Most British guy.
like
ever.
you're not against Al Qaeda?" And Viggo Mortensen's like,
What?
"What are you talking about?" What are you-"
Yeah.
Does not.
Can we talk about the movie?
Yeah.
Viggo
So
Mortensen,
silly.
he's like he
Dude.
knows so many languages. He was like, he's American. I think like most of the interviews that he does like in other countries, he'll like do them in the native language.
We
So I
watched.
think,
Yeah, we
it was
also
also
watched-
part of that.
yeah, he
hangout.
speaks like Dutch, Spanish, German, French,
Italian.
English.
Yeah, he's really cool.
Does he have an interesting accent?
He does. He kind of has an accent, but it's interesting. Like,
You can
don't know
tell
where-
it's him. You can fucking
Yeah.
like you can tell it's Viggo Mortensen speaking. Like he's not like, yeah, it's not like corny where he's like trying really hard to sound like a native speaker. It's
Yeah.
just like really is like it just sounds natural. Like
Yeah, he knows enough to get by. or
Yeah.
even more than that.
Right.
definitely. I mean, he does like full interviews.
Oh,
He'll just be
yeah.
like speaking the language. I'm like, damn, bro, that's great.
Yeah, that's
Is he the
ideal.
one that wrote Lord of the Rings, or he's the one that did
He just played.
He's Aragorn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Aragorn. I said Sauron.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Wait, Aragon?
Aragorn's
Yeah,
the dragon book.
Yeah, I know.
Aragorn is a
I remember
kid.
thinking like, damn, that name is so close.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're saying Aragon.
Yeah,
Right?
I think that's.
Aragorn.
I thought that was his
Aragorn.
name for the longest time.
Yeah.
They've got Sauron and Saruman. Like how
Yeah.
Literally,
Sauron.
like this is the funniest. Sauron.
Was he Aragon?
There's actually the. Did you guys see? You guys saw The Killer, right? The
Yeah.
new
I still haven't seen
David
it.
Fincher. Actually, the
Oh yeah.
The jump scare.
the guy that did
Sheila
the
has a huge crush on this
Oh,
guy.
that's-
Vigo. Dude, he's got a crazy jawline, man. It's like the
wrinkles.
Sour
yeah,
cheeks.
like the wrinkles with like something crazy going on
He's
there.
in Green Book.
Yeah, he's sick.
But fuck, dude, what was that? The guy that did the body acting for Sauron, like the guy that was really just in the costume and like doing all the movements. He didn't do the voice or anything. That was the guy in The Killer. The body or the muscle, the brute. That was the guy that played. He was the body actor for Sauron.
That's
I've never
crazy.
seen The Killer.
He's
Check it
it
out.
just came
Just
out.
came out.
It's
Oh wait.
It's got
David Fincher. It's Michael Fassbender.
Fassbender.
Maybe I did see it.
Tilda Swinton.
Is that about the?
She shows up.
He's like a, just a like a hired gun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
just like an assassin. But it's like, yeah,
The expert.
yeah,
She's
yeah.
called the
Wait,
expert.
what is the actor of Saruman?
he it's if you go to the cast list, it's the brute. The guy, he's like a
It's one of we won't spoil, but it's one of the characters in the book or in the movie.
that
Oh,
guy.
yeah,
that
yeah,
first
yeah,
picture.
yeah.
They have a crazy. What the fuck is that?
What's that? What's that actor's
What is
name?
that? What is that?
Amino acids.
Ew.
Man.
Brute. Is that the brand name? Brute amino
But he's
acid.
Saruman or the
Sauron.
Yeah,
Sauron?
sorry. He does the.
Saruman?
Anytime you see the guy,
I
like
say you.
yeah, he does like the.
I'm such a dork.
He's the,
Actually,
Do you ever get those
what?
Oh, that's just the
That's
voice.
that's funny.
the airplane
voice
facts with
acting.
Max, the real guy? Have you
No.
ever seen those?
No.
Oh my gosh. Airplane.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. He's like a mechanic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
He
profile.
talks about like he has some pretty hilarious videos.
oh yeah, I just saw this.
I'm an aircraft mechanic, and this is an airplane fact with Max. And today I'm in front of the aircraft's thrust reverser control valve, which is this component right here, which actually routes the hydraulic fluid to the engine's thrust reversers, which are typically deployed when an aircraft lands in order to reverse the engine's thrust and help the aircraft slow down, which are these right here. However, these thrust reversers will probably never be the cause for the Fellowship to have to reverse their course as they're attempting to pass the mountain of Karatras over the Misty Mountains, where they're ultimately thwarted by an impassable blizzard that causes them to have to go back down the Redhorn Pass into Holland to attempt to find the doors of Durance so that they can travel through the mines of Moria. And upon the opening of the doors and the entering of the mines, the doors of Durance are ultimately destroyed by the Watcher in the water, which was most likely one of the nameless things that crept from the deep and forgotten places of the world. After the destruction of the Dwarven Kingdom of Khazad-dûm by the Balrog known as Durin's Bane, it was actually one of the fallen Maiar that was corrupted by Morgoth's songs of
This is
discord,
hard, dude.
Sang,
Yeah, he knows
and
his shit.
I don't think he's not even reading anything.
No,
just
he
knows
must
it.
This is like
But I still
when
think
somebody
that,
has a sponsorship
engine thrust
in a
reversers
podcast
are-
and they like
Yeah.
segue into the ad for it, you know?
I like how the top comment on that was just like someone being like, honest question. Does the FAA know that, like, are they okay with you sharing all this information about airport? Like, they did not watch the whole video.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. All of his videos are like that. They're pretty funny.
It's awesome.
Wait, so Sauron is the same guy? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the guy that did,
Same
like,
body.
that's him pretty much. He did the body
Was-
acting.
Was the armor like really heavy? Is that why?
I don't know.
'Cause it
I
looks- has
imagine
a
it's,
weight
like,
to it.
actually, like, metal
Beast.
armor.
Seriously, it's one of the.
But it's like, I mean, if you're that's
I
my
think,
favorite Gandalf.
Fly, you fools.
He just
I
says
think
fly.
that guy might be like
You fly.
I think that guy's a Maori like chieftain or something.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was like, God, oh man, I don't know what the thing is with like needing like a bodybuilder for like, you know, an intimidating character, but I guess it makes sense. It's
Probably
like
a lot of weight if it's a.
It's like the Darth Vader, the guy who was in the suit. He's
Yeah.
like 6'7".
but the guy that did the voice,
Yeah.
James Earl Jones, he like I mean, I think he got most of the credit for that role.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of a weird thing because it's just interesting. Like
That
he's
is
not
strange,
in
like,
the suit.
the guy that physically did the acting like isn't getting
I felt
the
like
credit.
Darth Vader wasn't that scary of a villain, honestly.
No.
He was
Well, maybe
always
not.
like,
Yeah. What?
because I don't know, the Sith Lord or the Dark Lord above him was always the one kind of pushing the buttons.
Yeah.
I remember growing up
Sidious.
though, Darth Vader was such a huge icon as like the villain.
Maybe he was scarier when it came out because when it came out,
That's true.
it was like there's George Lucas is infamous for like going back and like remastering his movies and then not making the original available. So when Star Wars the first one came out, it was like you see footage of it, like there is no CG or anything. It's just like very it's charming. It's like very low budget. But the reason when you watch Star Wars now and you see CG is because he went back and added like the
I did
ugliest
notice
CG.
that, yeah.
So people are working on making it's called the despecialized cut of Star Wars, where it'll just be like the original negatives. Yeah, like all this like all that stuff
Oh yeah,
wasn't in the original.
he was added into the
And Return of the Jedi.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think
what-
the
oh,
last
shit.
one.
Which is so weird.
Which I was
'cause
like, what the fuck?
I know it came out as a
Yeah.
kid. I was like, who is that? Because I never saw the prequels. But
it was Arnold.
And there was a scene in A New Hope, I think, or when it's like really cold, or, of these like walking things. Yeah, these.
oh, the
This
doors.
this in the New Hope looked like super like well done. I was like, no way was this not in the
I know it's so weird. Like you look at that picture, I think it's like Jabba, the original. Like look how charming that is. It's just like a weird prop, and
Yeah.
they turn into like an ugly CG
Yeah.
mud.
There's something too, like even Yoda when he's like non CGI Yoda.
Yeah, I mean you look at
Pretty sick.
Did you guys hear about that Jabba show that got canceled?
There was-
There was gonna be. It was literally okay. Hear me out, man. I'm not one to like
Tell me
get
about it,
excited over like Star Wars shit.
Tell us
I mean,
about
you know,
it.
I like Star Wars. I'm not like a fucking like super fan though. But this was like the way that this show. They were describing the show in an article, and it literally sounded like The Sopranos.
What?
It was literally just like the Star Wars Sopranos show, because it was all about how like Jabba the Hutt became a crime lord. Because that's what he.
So
that's what he is.
stupid.
Is
Keep-
it,
keep
was
going.
it was it animated or is
No, I
it,
don't want to anymore.
is it animated or was it like
I think it was a show that like was supposed to come out like recently. Like it was supposed to come out like this year or something.
what?
What the fuck is
They
that?
probably would have made it kind of cool.
That's from the Boba show.
Oh.
There's like the two, because the Jabba, that's like a race of people.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like
There's Zero the Hutt
Oh,
from
yeah.
Clone Wars. Too.
yeah.
I see. Okay.
But yeah, the coolest stuff in Star Wars is like those vector graphics when they're in the Death Star and you see like the tracking. It's like locking out. Yeah,
Do
that's
that
because that's
early-
from the original. Like that's period accurate.
Early like
awesome.
80s like or like not even CG but like computer
They're so
designs,
cool.
like the way it's all like linear, like literally drawing lines on the screen to like get
Yeah.
the design that you want to see. So it's like really rudimentary, but like looks like sci-fi as fuck.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
That is sci-fi.
At
It's,
the
literally,
time,
yeah.
it was just before its time.
yeah,
Right.
it's just like lines on a screen, like making like shapes, and it's like I mean, you know, just watching it maybe in like your room at home probably wouldn't like have the same effect, but like seeing it in like that setting, it's like oh shit, like that fucking
Yeah.
that's sick.
it's
Like
because the video game systems that were coming out in the late '70s were just like the Magnavox Odyssey and these really early like video game consoles would have like all they could do is have like two lines on the screen, and then you would have to put like an overlay on the TV. Like if you want to play ping pong or pong, it would just be like the console would come with like a translucent sheet that you put on the TV. It's like, oh, I'm playing pong right now, but it's only because just the background would look like it.
Right.
So taking that and putting it into the film, I mean, they couldn't really do much
I fucking love that. I wish we still did that. That would be so funny.
Yeah, I feel like the things we
Guys
do
trying to
now
play
is
some Mario
pretty
Kart? It's like
sick.
translucent background for every stage.
Playing Dark Souls 3, but it's like 2 lines. Or God of War Ragnarok.
It's a story adventure.
Yeah.
I saw a GTA 6 trailer just came out.
Oh, that's today.
That was yesterday, I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
yesterday.
okay.
Looks insane.
Looks
Like,
crazy. Like,
I think it's-
literally looks like Miami is what I saw it.
because it's in Miami. Yeah, like
What is it called?
I don't know the
GTA
name.
6.
Is it just
Yeah.
called GTA 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the name of the city, they always have like a different name for the
Right.
I
city.
saw
Like,
Vice. It said Vice.
is it Vice City? It
I don't
probably
know.
is Vice
I don't
City.
Isn't it already?
It
Yeah.
said Vice.
I think because I saw someone commenting on like one of the videos, they were like, "Vice looks so alive in this." I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah."
Okay.
Return
Probably
of
Vice City, yeah.
Do you think it's the same map as what Vice City was? But
Probably.
like, is it Miami or is it Vice City?
I
I'm
don't
always
know because
confused
I mean
about
what they did with GTA 5 was like it was literally like a map of LA. Like I'm pretty sure it was like
Oh,
mostly like it literally was LA.
right.
Maybe I'm thinking of Spider-Man, like just
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Spider-Man movie. Like it was literally LA. But no, it was like
They're gonna get to a point where it's VR compatible and it's gonna be like literally like you're walking around.
Yeah.
walking around the
World.
street.
Crazy. The graphics look so. You could literally do anything. I feel.
Well,
Yeah.
there was that Half-Life game that came out too, Half-Life Alyx, where it's like in VR and it's like you have to like reload the guns by yourself and like cock
Yeah.
them, and
Oh, wow.
so it's already it has precedent. I think
it's
that
just
one.
Alex.
no one really talked about it. I haven't played it.
It looks
'cause I don't
amazing, man.
Have VR, but
It's
when did
like
it come
one of
out?
those things I
20,
do when
20 or something. 20,
when I don't have anything to watch. I just watch this entire game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I've gotten into not this one, but I've gotten into at my old job, like a YouTube just live play gameplay.
Yeah.
basically.
Literally, like no commentary. I'm just like, yep,
Yeah.
that's the game.
Like, okay, I don't need to
Rad.
play it. I just want to watch somebody play it.
That's fine. The rad, man. That's a deep cut.
Dude,
Fucking-
I watched this playthrough of God of War 2018 before I had a PS4, so I knew the whole game before I played it. But then when Ragnarok came out, I hadn't seen it, so I didn't know what I was getting into.
He's one of those YouTubers that's like he's been on the platform since
Dude, yeah.
like 2006, damn
Crazy.
near. Like he's literally been there forever, the whole
Yeah.
time.
Wow.
But I mean,
He's
he's
like a
like
nice guy.
he still gets views too. I
I
look
know.
at his channel. I'm like, still gets like 300K views. I'm like, let's go.
He's a very like agreeable. He's not obnoxious at all when he
Yeah.
plays. He's just he'll like read the dialogue, and it's very pretty boilerplate. But
I
Yeah,
really like those scary games that are like alien abduction or something.
Oh.
It's like kind of like probably I don't know Five Nights at Freddy's, but you're like
Hell yeah.
trying to figure out like what's going on, and it's like pretty scary. And there's like home invader ones too.
oh,
where
that'd be
it's
so
like
scary,
you're
dude.
in this house and like you hear like someone at the door.
Jeez.
It's like oh my
I would
god,
hate
that's-
Home Alone playing that movie or playing that game.
You
Playing
play
that
movies?
movie. All right, episode's over.
Yeah, Home Alone definitely turned a terrifying thing into something that's pretty comical.
Yeah.
Sweet and Christmas.
That shit is
Yeah,
brutal.
I mean,
though.
it takes some real skill to make robbery a Christmas.
Home
You know, home invasion is
Yeah.
I thought about it that way.
it's like like season's
Masterful.
greetings. You're being robbed.
I think it's just what
Who's the actor who was like one of the robbers?
Joe Pesci.
Yeah,
Joe
Joe
Pesci,
Pesci.
dude,
Which-
yeah.
Crazy.
Who's Joe Pesci again? Is
He
just
he's like an. I mean, like he's
know his
obviously
name.
done most of his movies with Martin Scorsese. Like
Goodfellas.
he's one of those
Casino.
OG
Oh,
like
sure, okay.
actors. It's like
He's an Irishman.
he just like does everything with Martin Scorsese. It's like one of those weird things where like an actor and director will be like really good friends,
Right.
and it's just like, yeah, I want you in this. Like
Those
like
two together. That's so
Tarantino
funny.
has
the craziest. It's really like Home Alone and then like three of the craziest mafia movies.
Yeah,
like,
for real.
Yeah.
He kills this role too, though.
yeah.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
My
he
cousin-
does. He's
He's in Raging
amazing.
Bull too.
Because I mean, he's low-key playing the same character, but it's just like
Yeah.
if he wasn't in the mafia, just like literally like the side characters in Sopranos, like all the crooks that are like, I'm gonna make it in the family someday. It's literally just what his role is.
What's in it for me?
Yeah, right.
Or the sticky bandits, like the wet bandits. Oh man.
Probably wrap this up pretty soon.
Yeah,
Do you guys
valid.
have anything else you want to plug or
I
mention?
just say, just check out Archetypes if you want. We got
Got audio-visual stuff coming soon.
Cool.
Yep.
I think
Very
you guys
soon.
should definitely keep doing that audio-visual stuff.
You're into it?
For sure.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe even I'm always about like the long. I know it can take away from talking to some video friends about like the horizontal versus the vertical.
Yeah.
The vertical just takes up way more space, but like even making the horizontal and then like kind of, I don't know. Just
Willie's been trying to help me out with that.
Figuring it
Every
out.
time I export, man, I gotta work on my
Vertical.
exporting skills because I'm like, I finished the edit and I'm like, there we go.
Yeah.
That's the video. Like, I don't fucking like reformat.
I don't
or
understand like
anything.
rendering that too.
It's so
That's-
weird.
yeah.
Like Willie's a master editor, man. He's
Yeah.
like fucking.
Shout
he's the
out
one.
Willie.
Shout out to Willie.
real quick.
We talked about you a lot today.
It's like me
Shout out
riding
Whack.
Willie.
Shout out Whack.
Wacky.
Shout out Whack.
Anything but Whack.
Kill Goober, man. Is a
Shout out to
musician.
Goober.
Shout
Music
out
account.
to
Yeah. Is that
William.
Bulldog out anywhere? Or is that
Yeah,
you said you're running that?
Bulldog is. It's gonna be out. It got like a screening on the 16th. So I mean,
Oh wait, where at?
it's at the Union. So I'm gonna be like telling
Cool.
people like this week pretty much.
We're
I'm gonna be
coming.
sending out a message. Pull up, dog.
Saturday,
Pull up.
right?
The,
Yeah, the 16th of
Yeah,
December.
the 16th. Yeah, it's I don't like. It's obviously like not just mine. It's like all the seniors.
Yeah.
who
It'd be so
screen.
fun. I love senior screenings.
The senior screenings are like. This is one dude, Robert Mercer. He's such a good senior dude. Oh my god, it's like a hand drawn animation.
Man, that's
It's really
That's
cool.
not Mercer Michael Grandstand, is it? Mercer.
I
Robert
don't-
Mercer. Okay, probably.
Yeah, I don't know. Robert Mercer, he's in the film program. Like
Yeah, okay,
I
never mind.
I barely spoken to him. I'm like, fucking, I hope he doesn't see this. What the fuck? You getting a random shout out, man?
I'll be sure to tag him.
I just like comment on it, like
people
Robert-
mention.
Yeah. I know some podcasts do that, but I just don't have the time to go through the podcast and be like, oh,
Right.
did that
There's a person.
I can't even do that shit for like a normal Instagram post. I'm like, I feel just giving someone like picture credits or something. I'm like, that's weird. They're not even in the picture.
Call the movie a picture. Like Martin Scorsese.
Hey man, that's how it goes.
Pictures.
Cool, but yeah, fun conversation. Boys.
Yes.
Heck yeah,
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Do
for
it again
real, man.
sometime.
Yeah.
For
Hell
sure.
yeah.
Part 2.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We just talk about 25 books.
Yeah, I like having people, it's fun to have people not musicians on to talk about something else. It's pretty refreshing.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm glad we could fill that niche.
Yeah.
Writing. Man. That's why we got Archetypes.
You
Though.
filled my
Yeah.
hole. Well, check out Archetypes, and yeah, thanks guys for popping
Yeah.
on.
Thanks for having us.
See you guys.